All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I see that we have Fred, ADHD Vance, before the stream even kicks off, doing what he loves to do, being my ADHD. He drops 5 membership gifts for you guys. Fred, my man, thank you so much for that. I'm going to add that to the counter. So Fred's getting us off to a strong start already before we dive into any of today's topics and discussions. So Fred, thank you saying MBG finally has light. Yeah, it's getting really nice out. I may even open the window in a little while because the weather's finally starting to change. And yeah, I went outside for a while yesterday. It felt really good. It was nice to finally get some sun. I touched grass. It was fantastic. And Fred, he's doing it. Fred's doing it. Fred's like, there's a reason why my nickname is ADHD, because he wants to be the ADHD today. Fred, thank you so much, man. You dropped another 5 bomb on this community. That's 10 memberships gifted right off the bat by our good friend, Fred Vance, big supporter of the channel. Thank you so much for that, man. Love to see it. So you guys know the drill. We hit 25 members. I'll be bringing Boss in later in the stream. We'll give him some snacks. If we hit 50 members, we'll do some more reps. If we hit 75 members, I was going to say I'll do a whole workout. I'm not going to do a whole workout, but we'll do even more reps. I see the day coming where we get like 200 memberships at one point, and it's like, yeah, we are going to do a whole workout. We have Jake Skew 28 following up Fred Vance by dropping a membership gift. And just like that, Jake Skew takes us to 11. Thank you guys so much for all of your continued support. As you know, the channel, the content, it is fan funded. Even during times like this, when there's not a whole lot going on, you guys still show up. You still show incredible support. And, I really appreciate it. So thank you guys. And so, yeah, before I get into anything, I'll just let you know, hit the like button. It helps the streams a lot. Lets me know you guys enjoy the content. Shout out to all of you guys who tune in live to catch the streams. You guys make these streams possible, but also a shout out to those of you who watch the streams later on. I know that not everybody can catch the streams live. You know, everybody has different things they have to do throughout the course of their day. So if you're taking time out of your day, or evening or night to watch the streams later on, shout out to you guys as well. I feel like I don't thank those individuals enough because they're still showing incredible support to the channel as well. 3 ways you can support the content directly: become a channel member, gain access to the members lounge. We had a pretty good members lounge yesterday. I thought so. We reacted to some new game trailers, discovered a couple of new games that I wasn't aware of. We talked about some other stuff, talked a little bit about Bruce Lee and whatnot. It was a good time, good conversations all around. So go check that out if you're a member. Consider gifting memberships as well as Fred and Jake are doing here. And consider also maybe donating a super chat, ask a question, give an opinion, make a statement. It all helps. Fred, you're saying to Helldive while listening or not to Helldive is the question. That is the question. Yeah, apparently there's like flying insects now in Helldivers 2. I played a little bit last night. And man, I'll tell you, ever since the big Helldivers update, like where they changed the meta of the game and rebalanced it, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the game is significantly harder than it was previously. Is it just me? Like I feel like I'm truly struggling. Like I had to go back down to just like what's the I think challenging difficulty, and even then I'm still like struggling and you know yeah, it feels a lot more difficult. You're saying they're brutal. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I was playing a little bit of Dead by Daylight last night as well too, because again, they put out that new update where they have a new survivor, a new killer, a new map, and I like the new map. The new killer for in Dead by Daylight looks absolutely terrifying. If you were part of the members lounge yesterday, we watched the trailer for it, and you know, people always say like they want the developers of Dead by Daylight to actually focus more on the horror side of the game and come up with these really actual like scary types of killers that actually freak you out. And I have to say, the killer for the new Dead by Daylight update, I think, is the most terrifying one yet. And there are some freaky killers in Dead by Daylight, so I think I might actually buy that killer. I do have enough points from playing the game to be able to actually unlock it and give him a shot. But we have Idrisil coming in, following up Jake Skew and Fred Vance by dropping a membership gift. Idrisil, thank you so much for that, man. I saw that you actually became a member on one of the higher tiers yesterday. Now you're coming in and gifting a membership. Guys, let's get some W's flowing in the chat for both Jake Skew and Idrisil for keeping the membership train going. He just brought us up to 12 members, so we are already at 12, getting close to the goal. Thank you for that, buddy. You just got flashbanged in the stream. Jay Shaka, you're saying MBG, they said that they didn't change the difficulty, but it definitely is harder. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It really feels like it's more difficult. Not just because of the balancing, right? Like some weapons are less effective. It just feels like, I don't know, my character just feels weaker. But maybe they felt that was necessary to do. Check this out. The U.S. House has officially passed the bill to ban TikTok if its owner, Chinese company ByteDance, refuses to sell the platform. Uh-oh, guys. I don't think that's an uh-oh. I think that's good. Ban TikTok? Don't sell it. Don't cave. ByteDance, don't cave. Keep it so that way it can be banned, at least in the US. I'm all about that. Yeah, that's like breaking news. That's not, yeah, I'm not kidding. US House approved a bill threatening to ban TikTok if parent company ByteDance refuses to divest. I don't know the details of it, but yeah, that could be huge if that actually happens. I saw somebody saying that the Summer Game Fest date was announced. Let me see if I can find it. I guess Jeff Keighley would be the one announcing that. I don't know how I feel anymore about Jeff Keighley's events. Here we go. June 7th. Yeah, we have a date. Summer Game Fest streams live on Friday, June 7th from the YouTube Theater in Los Angeles with thousands of in-person fans and millions watching online. Tickets go on sale May 7th. So it's going to happen at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll be streaming it at 5 p.m. June 7th. Okay. Let me see. What day does that fall on? That is a Friday. Well, there you go. I'll have my calendar marked. I'll definitely stream that. We can live stream that together. You think all platform holders that censor should be reined in? Dude, I'm getting like the worst muscle spasm at like the top of my tricep. Oh my God. So annoying. The talk brain rot is bad. The internet brain rot in general is getting pretty bad, dude. So yesterday I don't want to say, I don't think I poked the hornet's nest necessarily, but I came across this this video clip that somebody put out on Twitter of apparently it's a game developer for a company that is working with EA on the upcoming Black Panther game, which is a AAA game. And this woman was getting called out for being like blatantly racist because she said that she won't hire white people on her development team because I guess she just feels like she said they're unsafe or something. And she's like, they have too many microaggressions and I just want to hire people that are like me. And I was just like, I really was like, this has to be fake, right? Like, this isn't real. Like, this has to be fake and made up. There's no way that this is what is being allowed in the gaming industry right now. Because yes, like some people got mad that I called that out. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, this shit needs to stop. And people were like, it's not racist. Like, no, that is literally racism. Reverse racism is still racism, you know? Like, if you're saying I'm not going to hire a group of people, a specific group of people because of the color of their skin, right? Like, that's racism. That's just flat out racism. And if you were to replace white people with anything else, right? Asian people, Latino people, people would lose their minds, as they should, because that's racism. And people were like, oh, well, it's a Black Panther game. It's like, you're missing the point, man. Like, you're missing the point. Like, this should not be a practice that is allowed to be accepted in the industry. Like, could you just imagine if a white game developer came out and said, yeah, I only hire white people, I think black people are too unsafe? They'd be like, what the fuck? It would make headlines. It'd be like, what's happening right now? So I just think people in general, and the whole microaggression part really got me. I'm like, really, microaggressions? Come on now. It genuinely concerns me. It genuinely concerns me that, like, I know exactly, B Fletcher. How is this even a conversation? It concerns me what is going on potentially behind the scenes at these video game development companies. Like, I've talked to you guys about this before, where it's like, all this stuff that's going on with Sweet Baby Inc. And there's always like seemingly some kind of culture war, politics, agendas, and it becomes overwhelming to me, where I'm like, God, I want to just be indifferent to it and not pay attention, because it's overwhelming. It's too much. But at the same time, it's like, when I come across stuff like that, it's like, oh, that's really concerning. Like, this is why so many gamers are putting these AAA games under the microscope. They're putting them under the microscope and asking, how much bullshit should I expect with this game? And here's the worst part, that I want to like, that I want to be excited about. Like, we want to be excited about these products, about these games. And there just has to be this kind of concern as like, who exactly do you have working on this stuff? Because if it's people like that, like if it's like racist people, it's like, that's concerning. It's very concerning to me. Shaking my head, man. Shaking my head. Well, sorry for that little rant there, but that really caught me off guard. New Soul 9, you're saying some people only view or consider racism if it's on a systemic level. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's extremely important. Like, that's vital. If it's systemic, like, yeah, that's hugely problematic, and that needs to be eradicated. But that's how it starts. You know what I mean? Like, people should look for that anywhere. Like, racism in any way, shape, or form, frankly, should not be tolerated. It just shouldn't, because you're not going to achieve true equality by basically saying, well, maybe this should be allowed, or a little bit of that is okay. Like, no, how is that going to achieve equality? There you go. Chris gets it. I was just surprised, man, that I saw some people really getting upset with me for basically speaking my mind on that. I mean, genuinely getting very upset. And I'm like, guys, like, like, this isn't about it. Like, this isn't about me being white. This isn't about, it's not about that. It's just about, like, we shouldn't be deciding who we do or do not hire based on their skin color. It is that simple. I cannot believe that these words have to be spoken in 2024. And it's so disheartening to see that there's some people that don't see the problem with that. But anyway, I'm going on now. Let's get back on topic, I guess. I'm sorry. Let's get back on topic. Well, I actually didn't even tell you what the topic of discussion was. I want to talk to you guys about something more positive, something I think is good. We've been talking a lot about PlayStation in a relatively negative way, right? We've been talking about the mistakes that they've been making, what's going on with their canceled games and live service and the layoffs and the studio closures. There's been a lot of negativity, unfortunately, and it sucks. And we've been, again, talking all about that. But yesterday we reacted to a video that I know a lot of you guys watched with me, and at the end of that video, there was something that was reiterated. It wasn't like a bomb drop moment because it was something that we did hear about previously, but it was reiterated and re-emphasized, and I think it's something that's pretty important to pay attention to. And that is the fact that Sony has massive investment in specifically new intellectual property. And I think that this is going to be hugely important very soon. It could be something that we end up seeing as soon as May if they do a showcase or something like that. But regardless, going into the remainder of the PS5 generation, new IP is going to play such a huge role in, I would say, rejuvenating the excitement around not just PlayStation, but the PS5 as well. And yes, Irfan, thank you for reporting on that, man. And I actually have your Reddit post up here because you really, I mean, you did a good job with the transcript. You have here Jim Ryan on the launch of PlayStation, Sean Layden on the price of PlayStation, Sean Layden on the PlayStation 3, Jim Ryan on the PS3, Herman Hulst on the PS3. Got the whole thing here. But at the very bottom here, it says Sean Layden, it says, sorry, I think it was Herman Hulst. Herman Hulst says CNBC also re-reports the news related to one of Sony's earnings that 50% of Sony's investment will be going into new IP by 2025, comparing to just 20% back in 2019. This is such a huge deal that I just don't think people quite fully understand or grasp like how significant that is, and how that they're saying by 2025. So by next year, 50% of all of PlayStation's investment will be in new IP, which means that from 2025 and onward, half of the games that we see from Sony are going to be new IP. I just don't think that has registered yet in a lot of people's brains. You know, it's understandable because this is something that Sony talked about a little while ago. And the problem as well is that there was a 60% investment in live service, right? And that's what people focused on, not understanding that the investment for single player is over double, what it was in 2019. Everybody was focused, but what about that live service investment? And I agree, like that was definitely something to be concerned about, but it's a big deal. Like I think Sony has a lot kind of, going on behind the curtain that people might be quite surprised and delighted, hopefully, when we see it. We have Kane Z7 with a generous $20 super chat. Thank you so much for that, Kane. You're saying the moment you comply, the moment you bend the knee for the angry mob, they know that they know. Sorry, I'm reading that wrong, I think, that they can affect you. Like Genki on X, he deleted some images of Tifa and Eve because of the angry mob. Never bend the knee. Yeah, I hear you, Kane, and that's what sucks, man, is when you're dealing with, as you're saying here, like the angry mobs, there is, I think, a level of decency that exists in most people. A level of decency and rationality where it's like, well, maybe we can just like reason. We can be reasonable and we can be civil and we can just find a middle ground. But there are too many people that are, again, part of this angry mob. It's the angry mob mentality where they've already decided, like, that's not an option. You're either with us or you're against us. And that shit is so damaging. That shit is vile, and that is the biggest problem, because when you say like you can't bend the knee, that's unfortunately a truth for most of these people that we're talking about, where you can't rationalize with them. You can't, it's not possible. It's either you agree with them and see it their way, or you're wrong, and you will be scrutinized to oblivion and possibly, I don't want to say harassed. I mean, I guess that definitely does. I guess that does happen, but it's just, they turn it into you have to pick your side. And I see, on the other extreme end where It's like, people, it starts to look like, oh, are the people on the other side, are they looking for every little thing they can? Every little thing. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, at that point, you're looking at basically a war. It's like a culture war, essentially. And, a lot of us, I think, are just regular, normal, rational, reasonable people where we understand that, like, it doesn't have to be so extreme either way. And it's just, the problem is if one side decides to say, you know what, we're going to tone it down and we're going to not be so aggressive and so angry mobbish about it. Or if the other side says, you know what, we're not going to be so over analytical. We're not going to be looking to overanalyze and scrutinize every little thing. The second that happens on one side or the other, it just, unfortunately, the other side will take over, and that's how it goes, man. It's annoying. It's annoying that it's everywhere. It's to an extreme level, almost everywhere. So I hear you, Kane, and yeah, stuff like that. Like you're saying, Genki deleted images of Tifa and Eve. Like, no, dude, screw that. Like, what's the big deal? It's not a big deal. At some point, you do just have to say, fuck them. You do. Like, that's your only option, because that's the only option they're giving you. You got to be who you are. You got to be true to yourself, and not, if you're not doing something that's like actively hurting somebody, or damaging property, then it's like, what's the problem? The problem is there's too many people out there that they want to police shit. They want to tell, like, no, this is right and that's wrong because I said so. And it's like, okay, because it's that simple, I guess. You're saying, but MBG, there are fine people on both sides. I agree. And unfortunately, those people, though, like the fine people that you're, and I get what you're saying. I just got the joke. But the truth is, there is truth there. There are fine people, what you would call fine people. Trump's fine. They're fine people. But there are good people, I guess is a better way to put it. There are good people on both sides. Unfortunately, they get drowned out. They do. Because these are people who are willing to just talk calmly. Talk about, a compromise potentially, or trying to be open-minded to see somebody else's point of view. They get drowned out by the person next to them that's screaming and belligerent and throwing a fucking tantrum. And then the other side notices that, they reciprocate, and then it just becomes a whole show. Let's move to the Amazon and live in peace. I mean, I would say yes to that, but I don't think I would make it in the Amazon, bro. I'm too domesticated. I'd die. I'll be honest. I'll just admit that. I would die if I had to try to survive in the Amazon. No doubt about it. We have Idrisil coming in with a super chat saying, do you think the canceled Spider-Man game will end up releasing after the leak? Off topic. Sorry. No, it's okay. That's actually, that's more on topic to what the stream's supposed to be about. Well, I think whatever that version of this game was, like the 5-player co-op, the Great Web, I think that was canceled. But what I do think is that some aspects of that concept will live on and might find its way into Spider-Man 3. Maybe Spider-Man 3 could be co-op or have a co-op option. Or maybe in the future we'll get some kind of DLC that'll just be a little kind of like, here you go, little side thing where you can play it cooperatively. I think to a certain extent, the concept itself will live on, but the live service, game as a service aspect, I think that's the aspect that died and that was canceled. And I think the fact that Insomniac suffered layoffs, I think it's proof of that. A lot of people were asking, how could a team like Insomniac suffer layoffs? Like, this is Sony's bread and butter, man. They've been carrying the PS5. They've been doing the heavy lifting. If they're not safe, nobody's safe. And I agree with that. And it is like questionable, like, man, Insomniac suffering layoffs. But I think it's, when you see this, it's because they had people that they hired that they know their expertise, so to speak, or their knowledge in live service is no longer needed. You know what I mean? So it's like, we really don't know what to do with you here because we're making single player games and we hired you specifically to make a multiplayer game. And if those, if those employees were, that is their area of expertise. I mean, I'm sure they'd rather go somewhere where they can, employ that expertise. Yeah, a lot of them were probably QA testers as well. That seems to be exactly what happened with Naughty Dog, where like Naughty Dog, it started with, we saw Naughty Dog lay off like all their QA testers, and a lot of people were like, whoa, what's going on? And then not too long after that, we found out that, it's because there's nothing to QA. There's no QA testing needed. The game was canceled. The multiplayer game was canceled, so they're no longer needed. Yeah, that's true as well, Fred. Thank you for pointing it out. You said, while layoffs do suck to hear about, we have heard of new studios rising up as well. Yeah, I saw that. I don't have the reports in front of me, but I saw that there was at least, I think it was 2 new studios founded by like veteran game developers. And you do have to wonder if Sony's going to try to like strike a deal with any of these guys. I think one team is actually, it comprises of former Naughty Dog developers as well as I think EA developers. I forget what other developers, but I know that Naughty Dog was on that list, and there was another studio. I don't have it up in front of me, but Star Wars veterans. Okay, yeah, I think that's something that not enough people are like kind of shining a light on as well. It's like everybody, and understandably gets outraged. It's like the layoffs. How could this happen? Developers are losing their jobs, and then when you see this news, I'll be honest, it feels like it kind of just like I guess that's just maybe the way it is, right? Like bad news it's easier to see bad news get more attention than good news. And it's true that we are seeing these new AAA studios being formed, these independent studios. Yeah, that's the one. Previous God of War director also opened up a studio. I think he was the director of God of War 3. And I think he comes from Respawn. I think he worked at Respawn after that. Yeah, there are no games yet. It's going to be a while. But it's good to see that still going on as well. But yeah, new IP from PlayStation, 50%. So let's think about this, right? How many new IP, how many new intellectual properties have been revealed by Sony this generation so far? Well, Returnal, to me, is, as of right now, the only standout new IP that we got so far during the PS5 generation. And that came out in 2021. I believe that game, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Returnal was revealed at the PS5, like the first event, and then it came out the following year. Other than that, I don't think Sony has released any new IP from any of their internal studios. I'm trying to think if there's something I'm forgetting. I mean, no, I don't think I'm I think Returnal might be it. I'm waiting to see if somebody's going to correct me or not. I'm trying to like go through like nearly 4 years in my head, 4 years of game releases. Destruction All-Stars. Well, yeah, technically that is a new IP, not from an internal Sony studio though. But yeah, I think Return. Well, to be fair, I guess when Returnal released at the time, Housemarque wasn't a first party studio either. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. PS Plus games were announced. Astrobot's great, but it actually wasn't a new IP. There was an Astro game for PSVR 1. Oh, here we go. The PlayStation Plus game catalog for March has been revealed. Let me tell you guys what the lineup is real quick. Sorry if we're all over the place. I'm just kind of letting it flow freely here. So these games will be available March 19th. The PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium Catalog, NBA 2K24, Kobe Bryant Edition, Marvel's Midnight Suns, Resident Evil 3 Remake, Lego DC Supervillains, Mystic Pillars Remastered, Blood Bowl 3, Super Neptunia RPG, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, PlayStation Premium Classics, Jak and Daxter, The Lost Frontier, Cool Borders, which is a PS1 snowboarding game, God Eater Burst, and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, and My Hero Academia. So there you go. Sony just dropped that 5 minutes ago. Those are the PlayStation Plus games for Extra and Premium. Chase, you're saying it's trash? I would say it's trash, but no, Cool Borders makes it an S tier. Cool Borders, the PS1 snowboarding game. Of course. Capono, you're saying, I see why MBG canceled the service for Premium. I mean, it's just I don't think it's a terrible lineup. I think it's a pretty decent lineup. Resident Evil 3 is probably like one of the standout games for me, but I already did play that. But yeah, man, when we talk about PlayStation and new IP, I think we have to separate this, right? We have to separate it into new IP that was revealed and released this generation, new IP that was just revealed but not released, and then new IP that has yet to be revealed and yet to be released. Well, we went over the first category, and the only game that we can think of is Returnal. Returnal seems to be the only actual new IP from Sony themselves. Everything outside of that has either been a sequel, a remake, or a remaster. Now we move on to the second category, which are new IPs that have been announced but have not been released. We have Chris Brown with a $2 super chat. Thank you, buddy, saying Naughty Dog producing one IP since 2013 is a waste of talent. Yeah, we don't talk about that, Chris. We try not to talk about that. That is very disappointing. Yeah, I mean, if there's a studio that needs to, I mean, they really have to, sooner rather than later, show us a new game. It's definitely Naughty Dog. But yes, the category of it's been revealed, but it hasn't been released yet. Well, this is where things start to get interesting. New IPs that have been revealed. Well, Concord. Concord is a new IP from Firewalk that's been revealed and hasn't released yet. It's supposed to come out this year. Fair Games is a second new IP that has been revealed, another multiplayer live service game from Haven. We don't know when that's going to release. We have Marathon. Marathon is a new IP. Well, no, hold on. No, Marathon's not a new IP. It feels like a new IP, but no, Marathon is actually not a new IP. So we cannot count Marathon as a new IP that was announced. So Fair Games. Oh my God, is that it? Is that really it? I gotta look in. I feel like there should be more. Let me check. Haven. No, I think that's actually it. Wow. That's crazy, dude. All right, so the only new IP that we have announced, I mean, officially announced. Irvin is saying, oh, MBG just realized it's even worse. Well, it's weird because it's like, I thought that there was more announced, but no, dude, it's like, this is serving as like a stark reminder of like, yeah, dude, Sony has not announced jack shit for like the past 2 years, bro, from their own studios. And the only new IP that has been announced this generation, Returnal, Destruction All-Stars. I guess I'll just throw that. Should I even throw that in there? It feels so fucking weird to count Destruction All-Stars. But I guess just if we're being technical about it, Returnal. No, I'm not counting Destruction All-Stars because that was made by Lucid, and Sony doesn't own Lucid. Sony does not own Lucid. I'm not counting that. I'm trying to just focus on Sony's internal studios. New IP, Returnal, announced, released. Fair Games, announced, not released. Concord, announced, not released. And that's it from Sony Studios. That's it. Rise of the Ronin and Stellar Blade. Yeah, I see when Sony says 50%, I assume that those games are being counted. I do assume that they are looking at that as like, I mean, yeah, they're like Rise of the Ronin, X-Dev is working on that. So of course they're going to count that. We can count those if we want, Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, but I mean, I still feel a little bit, it's like a little bit shaky for me there because I'm trying to just keep it to like studios that Sony owns. Because I feel like if we start listing second and third party, it gets really messy. Like, are we going to count Forspoken? I guess it's just because, people always wonder, like, why do you just hyper fixate on PlayStation Studios? Why don't I talk about it and, like, acknowledging the second and third party, and I separate them? I usually separate them because I do hold Sony's internal studios to a different standard. Like, for example, maybe this sounds a little bit unfair, but I think it just speaks to my expectation from Sony themselves. Like, if Rise of the Ronin came from one of Sony's internal studios, I would be feeling way more concerned about it because, I don't know, like I look at Rise of the Ronin, and this is no offense to Team Ninja, but I look at Rise of the Ronin and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to enjoy Rise of the Ronin more than Ghost of Tsushima. There's just no way. Like, there's no way Rise of the Ronin is going to touch Ghost of Tsushima. Could it match it in some areas and be just as fun in some areas? Yeah. But overall, no. And so it's like if Sucker Punch came out and was like, here's our follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima. It's called Rise of the Ronin. This is it. I'd be like, yo, this is a major step back. So I guess that's what I mean when I'm not as critical. Maybe it's a little bit unfair. Like, should I be this critical towards Sony's internal studios? Well, I can't help it. It's like they're the ones who set the standard. So it's hard for me not to expect that or kind of judge what they do next against that standard. And so that's why I just prefer to kind of stick to the internal, like for example, like Concord and Fair Games. I am so nervous about these games because, dude, these are not second or third party relationships. Do I count Fizzant? Yeah, I mean, see, that's where it gets tough. That's where it gets really tough because it's like Sony doesn't own Kojima Productions, but fuck, man, like that feels like Sony is so heavily involved. It's like, but it's Kojima. So it's like, all right, let me put it to you this way. I hold Kojima Productions to the highest standard. You know what I mean? Like I do. I hold them to the highest standard because it's Kojima. And when I see Kojima Productions collaborating with PlayStation Studios, I won't lie. My expectation is this has to be fucking incredible. Right? Like that is my expectation. And if anything, it just goes to show, like, how I kind of, I guess, categorize different development teams and different studios in my mind, where Kojima, if we were to like, do like a tier list, like, yeah, Kojima Productions is S tier for me. Sucker Punch is S tier for me. Team Ninja, I don't know if Team Ninja is S tier for me. I mean, it's to be honest, it's hard for me to even judge because I haven't really had much experience with their previous games. But based off of Rise of the Ronin, like, I don't think I would play Rise of the Ronin and come to the conclusion that, damn, Team Ninja just made a game that is as good as what I expect to get from something like Kojima Productions or Sucker Punch. I just don't think so. But that's just the way it is. I think that all these different teams, you're saying, how dare you? I know. I'm not trying to, you're saying they are. Maybe they are. Yeah, I don't know. I'll find out. I guess I'm just kind of keeping my expectations in check. But like, that's why I was saying, when I look at Concord and when I look at Fair Games, like, they are not, again, maybe Team Ninja is S. I just want to clarify, because I don't want to like piss anybody off who's a big Team Ninja fan. I'm not saying they aren't S tier. It's a question mark for me. I don't have enough experience with their games, and I can only make an assumption based off of what I've seen of Rise of the Ronin, So I'll find out. Who knows? Maybe I'll play Rise of the Ronin. I'll be like, yo, this is S+ tier for me. We'll see. But I feel like when I look at Concord from Firewalk and Fair Games from Haven, I don't feel the same way. And I'm sorry, Cuddy Can't Hang. You dropped the super chat, man. My bad. Sorry to keep you waiting. You're saying, what will happen first? A new first-party PlayStation IP announced, or Gears of War coming to PlayStation? Serious/not serious? I mean, that's a fair question. That's a fair question. Shit. Well, I mean, I can tell you Concord is coming first. So if we count Concord, that's going to happen first. If we're not counting, it's like Gears of War is announced to be coming to PlayStation next week. If we're not counting Concord, I don't know, man. I don't know. If the rumor's true that Microsoft is gearing, no pun intended, gearing up to get much more serious with bringing their games over to PlayStation in 2025. I mean, we know Death Stranding 2 is going to be a big title for PlayStation next year, but what else would they have? We know Wolverine isn't going to be ready. I don't know. I'm not expecting to get Naughty Dog's new game next year. I don't know. Capono is saying, y'all keep bringing that up. You guys do want Xbox games. Oh, there are definitely a lot of PlayStation fans that want Gears. Absolutely. I'm not one of them, personally. But yeah, I would say I think it would be smart of Microsoft to bring Gears of War, because I think out of all of Microsoft's franchises, that seems to be the one that I've seen the most amount of people who, like, I guess, play on PlayStation saying, oh, I'd love to play that on PS5. So Microsoft could probably make some good money there. There you go, Irfan. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. Venom's coming in 2025 as well. So next year we could see Venom, which isn't a new IP. Venom, Death Stranding 2. So I don't know, Cuddy Can't Hang. It's your guess is as good as mine, man. Truthfully, your guess is as good as mine there. And we have Josh McGill, member for 14 months. Thank you for the support, buddy, saying, MBG, do you think PlayStation first-party studios announces any new IPs this year? Yes. Yes. And I'm sorry if it seems like I'm getting my expectations too high by having this level of confidence, but to me, that answer is absolutely yes. I'm not saying it'll be like multiple, but at least one new single-player IP will get announced. It has to. Yeah. Yes. That's all I will say is yes, Josh. To answer, I'm sorry if it's an underwhelming answer, but yes. Now, if you ask me which one, we'll get to that in a moment. We have Jake Skew 28. Jake Skew 28 is keeping the membership train flowing today. Flowing. Does a train flow? He's keeping it rolling. He drops another membership gift for you guys. Let's get some W's in the chat for Jake Skew. He brings us up to 13 members. So we are getting ever closer to hitting our goal of 25. Thank you for that, Jake. You're heading off to work now. I hope you have a good day. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for showing me and the community some love, man. Always appreciate it. Keep an eye on the games from China Hero Project. A lot of those development studios have gone quiet since February. and they were very chatty all last year. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. It's so easy to forget that Sony has all these other projects coming from China, and they just announced the projects coming from their India Hero project. It's smart. I think what Sony's doing is smart. Idrisil with a super chat saying Sony and PCSX2 devs are teaming up. Do you think we will see less remakes in the future? No. No, I think that's true. Like, we kind of reported on that, how these the developers who worked on PCSX2 are seemingly teaming up with Sony. I think that's going to be for more PS2 games for PlayStation Plus Premium, but I don't think that means we're going to see less remakes. I think that, to be honest, we're going to see more and more remakes where it makes sense. I don't think Sony's going to slow down on that anytime soon. It's official. Did it become official? I thought it was just like a rumor from yesterday. But yeah, remakes. No, dude, that train's going to keep rolling for sure. Absolutely. We have Anonymous Boss saying Microsoft is probably having a meeting right now thinking what the fans will think if Gears and Halo goes to PS5. Obviously, it would sell well, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Like, if we're seeing a game like Sea of Thieves seemingly getting ready to sell very well, I think Gears and Halo would sell incredibly well on PlayStation. Absolutely. But I do think it is a big move for Microsoft because, I mean, if we look at Sea of Thieves, if we look at Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush and Grounded, you know, these are not the defining games. I mean, maybe you could say Sea of Thieves kind of is, but it's not on the same level as like Gears of War and Halo. Gears of War and Halo are games that have truly defined the Xbox brand. And I think there is a risk, and I'm sure Microsoft is well aware of this risk, that if they pull that trigger and they say you can get Gears on PlayStation, you can get Halo on PlayStation, they're going to lose a lot of people who, that's why they bought Xboxes. Like, sure, you could get these games on PC, but to a lot of people who play on Xbox, like, Xbox is Halo. You know, Xbox is Gears. And so, yeah, I think that they do run a pretty significant risk of essentially funneling what could be a relatively large amount of Xbox gamers, funneling them over to PlayStation, where it's like, well, shit, man, if I can get my Gears fix and my Halo fix on PlayStation, and I can also get my God of Wars and my Last of Us and Horizons, yeah, I'll just go play on that console. So I think Microsoft still has to be a little bit careful how they do it. But I will tell you this. I don't think that we're going to see a situation where it's like the next Halo is going to drop day one on PlayStation 5. I don't think so. That would truly be like, wow, okay, holy shit. I think it's going to be, here's the Master Chief Collection. Then eventually after that, sometime down the line, here's Halo Infinite. And then you would assume by that time, Microsoft announced the next mainline Halo, and they're going to say, and if you want to play the next mainline Halo, it'll be on Xbox and PC. And it seems clear like even that will eventually make its way to PlayStation, but not at launch. That's my assumption. From Scratch Gamer, you're saying Wolverine. Neutral Zone, you're saying that will never happen. I wouldn't say never. You think they'll keep the campaign on PlayStation? Maybe just bring the multiplayer over? I guess they could do it that way. All right, well, check this out. Let's get back to Concord and Fair Games. What I was trying to say a little bit earlier is that I don't view Firewalk Studios or Haven Studios as top tier development teams. I don't, because I said the opposite. I don't view them the same because it's like, dude, they haven't released anything. So I'm very, very nervous about these games where it's like, you are part of a family of studios that have released some of the highest quality games that we've ever seen. The quality bar is extremely high. Are these brand new studios that have never produced a game going to be able to compete? You know? So I will say that even though Concord and Fair Games are pretty much the only new IP we have announced, I don't have much faith in them. They don't get me very excited because I just don't know what they're going to be like. So let's move on to the third and final category here. New IP that is in development that has not been announced and has not released. Well, this is where things get very exciting. And I know that you guys are tired of me talking about it, but I think it's an important part of the conversation at a time like this, because I'm just like, I'm not trying to necessarily hype people up, but I'm just speaking for me, where this definitely does get me excited. Where when we look at the list of new IP, potentially, it's looking pretty good. Bend Studio, Bluepoint Games, potentially. Bluepoint Games is kind of a 50-50 situation, but they could very well be working on a new IP. So Bend Studio, Bluepoint Games. Firesprite is a little different too, because we were under the impression that they're working on a new IP, but supposedly, I think it was Jason Schreier who said that Firesprite's actually working on a horror game that's in an established PlayStation franchise. So maybe we won't count Firewalk. Gorilla isn't, I don't think, working on a new IP. Housemarque is working on a new IP. I would say London Studio was working on a new IP, but they got shut down. Media Molecule could very well be working on a new IP. Naughty Dog is working on a new IP. Santa Monica Studios working on a new IP. So Sucker Punch is clearly working on the next Ghost of Tsushima, so I wouldn't say they're working on a new IP. So what's interesting about this list of studios that they're working on new IP is these are big studios. Like, these are the studios that, for example, we take Sony Santa Monica. Like, whenever they're ready to actually show this new game, it's likely going to steal the show. You know, like it's going to suck up most of, if not all of, the oxygen in the room, because it's Sony Santa Monica and it's their first time making a new IP since God of War. It's going to be fucking huge, right? And they're one of the most talented studios in the world, so it's going to be a big deal. But you also look at, Naughty Dog. Same can be said for Naughty Dog, man. Especially because, as it was pointed out earlier, Naughty Dog hasn't released a new IP since 2013. And I don't know if you guys remember, I remember when The Last of Us was originally, for the first time ever revealed. People were like, holy shit, this looks awesome. So Naughty Dog revealing a new IP would be a huge deal for sure. But then we have Sony Bend. Sony Bend, I'm telling you, man. Telling you. Days Gone, don't pay attention to the reviews. People love Days Gone. Days Gone is a game that a lot of PlayStation fans fondly remember playing and loving and enjoying. And a lot of fans want a sequel. Unfortunately, we're not getting a sequel, but I would say Sony Bend is up there as one of the bigger studios now for Sony. And they're going to make a splash, I think, with their new IP. Bluepoint is interesting because if they do make a new IP, again, that kind of remains to be seen. If Bluepoint does make a new IP, that could go either way. So we'll see about Bluepoint. But then you have Housemarque. Housemarque's also working on a new IP. And it's Housemarque, dude. Like, their last game was a new IP in Returnal, and people loved it. I loved it. So I think the future is looking very, very, very bright, frankly, for PlayStation Studios, because, yeah, we're going to continue to get sequels. Yeah, we're going to continue to get remakes and remasters. And yeah, we're going to continue to get partner games from second-party studios and third-party exclusives. But yes, we're also going to continue to get new AAA IP from some of Sony's most talented and most prolific studios. And the waiting is the hardest part. You got to let them cook. But that's why I said earlier, like, yes, are we going to see new IP revealed this year? Yes, we have to. At least from one of these studios. The question is, which one is most likely? See, now that's the question. Out of all these studios, which one is most likely to show up this year with a reveal? I think it's Naughty Dog. That's my personal take. I think if there's only one studio we get a new IP reveal from this year, I think it's Naughty Dog. I think they owe us that. Nate Dogg with a $2 super chat. Thank you, buddy. You're saying, remember CD Projekt Red was interested in the Days Gone IP. I don't remember this. Is this true? Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Jeff Ross, Days Gone game director, said that there was an internal rumor that CD Projekt Red was interested in purchasing the Days Gone IP from Sony. Wow. That's insane. Sounds fake. I mean, yeah, it does sound a little unbelievable, but that's pretty funny to think. CD Projekt Red. Could you imagine a Days Gone developed by CD Projekt Red? Jeff Ross also said that Bend is using the Decima engine. Ooh. I mean, Days Gone was a pretty good game. It wasn't like the best looking game, but it had pretty good graphics, I would say. But the Decima engine, I'm telling you, man, I keep thinking about Death Stranding 2, and that game looks unreal. It does. Like, go back and watch the trailer where it shows the landscape shots, like the zoomed out shots. Oh my God. I've never seen anything like it. I feel like not enough people are like kind of talking about, like, dude, holy shit. Like, now we're really starting to see, like, this is what the PS5 can do in its latter years, when talented development teams with very good engines that are optimized for the PS5, this is what it can do. Some of the shots in actually a lot of the shots in the Death Stranding 2 trailer look like straight up CGI to me. I'm like, that, like, I'm literally wondering, is that on a PS5 Pro? Because that looks absurdly good. You think Ratchet and Horizon Forbidden West is peak for PS5? I think for now, we are going to absolutely see games that, I don't want to say will lap Horizon Forbidden West or Ratchet and Clank, because that might be a bit much, but we definitely will see games that are doing more, that are, I think, more cutting edge, more bleeding edge, so to speak, than Ratchet and Horizon Forbidden West. You don't think we will? No, I'm telling you, man. Trust me. Like, wait until you guys see the next Naughty Dog game that was made from the ground up for the PS5. People are not going to be ready for what they see. They're not. I'm not saying it'll be a game for everybody. We'll see. But what I can tell you is people are not going to believe what they're seeing visually when we see the next Naughty Dog game. Everyone will say it's fake. You would think by this point, hopefully not, right? You would think by this point, like, people kind of understand, like, yeah, they're good at what they do. Illegal Monkey, you're saying MBG seeing floods and earthquakes happening simultaneously. Exactly, dude. But yeah, man. The waiting is the hardest part. It's driving me nuts at this point. I'm so desperate to learn more about these projects that PlayStation has been working on for years now, what they've been cooking. I'm ready to move past this, I'm ready to move past the first half of the PS5 and really see, like, what we can get. It's been 84 years, damn it. It feels like it's been a long time, dude. I'll be honest. If there's one area where Sony truly has let me down and disappointed me, and maybe it'll be fine, or not, it'll be fine. Maybe it's not their fault necessarily, but the one area where Sony has really let me down and disappointed me is the lack of communication with their internal teams. And the reason why I say it's probably, I don't want to blame Sony necessarily, because I mean it does fall on them, but I guess I just mean, like, they're probably doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, where their teams are like, look, we really don't want to show our games until we're absolutely ready. And Sony knows that's like, well, how long is that going to take? Probably like 4 years, maybe something like that. And they're like, yeah, probably. So they know that it means they're not going to be able to create that wow factor for some time. And, I don't think I guess I'm saying we could see Sony do a different way. I mean, if you look back to the PS4 generation, I feel like Sony did kind of do it differently. And some people kind of complained about it, where it was like, we need to stop, like, Sony needs to stop revealing games that are like 4 or 5 years away. And I get that. But yeah, I mean, hopefully the good thing about this is having to wait so long for these announcements is that by the time we get them, we won't find out that's like, and it's like 5 years away. Wolverine was like the last game I think that Sony revealed that I can recall. Except, well, then again, Sony just revealed Fizzant, so it's like, well, yeah, that's Fizzant is likely a PlayStation 6 game. So it seems like Sony's treating their own internal studios a little bit differently, where they're like, if you're making a new IP, if you're making a new game, just let us know when you're ready. And we have Figuratively Literal coming in, re-upping his membership, coming back to greatness awaits. Figuratively Literal, thank you so much for that, man. You just brought us up to 14 members on the day. So we're just 11 away now, guys. We're 11 away now from hitting our goal. Remember, if we hit our goal of 25, later on, I will bring Boss in, and he will feast on some snacks for your viewing pleasure. I'm sure he's out there being like, did they do it yet? But Figuratively Literal, thank you for that, man.
Thank you.
Just realized I haven't used any sound bites today. Hold on. But yeah. When I think about the PS4 generation, when I think about the PS3 generation, I talked to you guys about this as well. It's worth keeping in mind that when we think of the experiences, like the most meaningful, the most memorable, the hardest hitting, the generational defining experiences that we got on the PS3 and on the PS4, it's worth noting that almost all of those experiences, or at least 70 to 80% of them, came during the second half. Because that's how this works, man. The beginning of the generation, everything's getting spooled up. Everything's getting greenlit. And it's not until basically we enter that second half that's like, all right, now we're ready to start. You know, we're lining up all the shots. Now we're ready to start firing them off. This is what I'm hoping that this is the year that kind of kicks off. Obviously, we're not going to be getting any like new IP, new AAA bangers dropping this year from Sony. But I think the way that they could kick it off is, like I've continued to say, is have a good show some of these games, get people excited, let them know that, hey, for the, if you thought the best was, yet to come, you thought right. That's exactly what's happening. KOTOR remake is still alive. It seems like it is. My question is if Sony has any involvement with it anymore, or if they severed that tie. Yeah, it says here, Saber Interactive has removed all references to Embracer Group from their website. Looks like the sale is done. So, yeah, they're going to go independent. And again, I don't know that like straight up confirms that. I mean, KOTOR remake was never announced to be canceled, but it really does seem like Sony kind of severed ties with them and is no longer funding it. Maybe they could renegotiate, though. Possibly. Sony likes their remakes. Embracer is a total shit show. Yeah, Embracer Group is you want to talk about a company that's made some serious mistakes. It's very sad, actually. MBG, if we do not get news on it by 2025, consider it abandoned. Yeah, we know a little something about that, don't we? Saying Embracer did some cool stuff. Yeah. I mean, it just feels like the things that they messed up so badly. It's like it's really hard to think about any positive things you did, because it's like, what did you guys do? The worst part is Embracer owns so many awesome IPs. They are sitting on money and they don't know it. Okay. Seriously, like my tricep is still having a muscle spasm. Does that ever happen to any of you guys? You get like a really annoying ass muscle spasm and it just doesn't go away for like a day or two. I hate that shit. You're like trying to sleep. You can't because your fucking muscles spasming everywhere. Too many dips. I mean, I did do a full-blown workout last night. Eat a banana. Actually, I think Mrs. MBG just bought some, but I don't think they're ripe yet. You guys eat unripened? Is that how you say it? Bananas? Green bananas? It's basically like a starch. If you eat green bananas, you're basically eating a starch. Saying if you're low on potassium. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I'll have to up my potassium. I mean, I don't eat like enough vegetables, and I know that vegetables are a great source of potassium. for FODMAP diets, they tell you to eat unripe bananas. Yeah, but they taste like shit, dude. Have you ever tried eating an unripe banana? They just don't taste good. They almost taste a little sour, somewhat. Not fun. But yeah, I think they are a lot healthier for you unripened because they're like a complex carbohydrate, so it doesn't like spike your blood sugar. We got Planet Schlorpian, a member for 7 months, saying the anti-exclusive pundits don't realize Microsoft is going third party after repeated mistakes, not because they found the holy grail of marketing. Planet Schlorpian, I hope I did your chat justice by reading it that way. Yeah, the anti-exclusive stuff, I mean, look, I do think that there are two different types of people, okay? I think that there are people who genuinely, in their heart of hearts, believe that exclusivity is bad. They've always thought it was bad. They never liked it. They always hated it. And that's fine. And then I think there are those that are kind of like bandwagoners, where it's like, well, yeah, I supported Xbox exclusives up until this point, but now that they're not really, as into them anymore, yeah, they're bad. Yeah, it gets annoying because you see that all over, Like I could tell you right now, if Sony were to get rid of exclusives, there would be a lot of PlayStation fans still saying like, no, Sony, you should definitely have exclusives, But I don't know. I'm kind of over that whole conversation of like, are exclusives good? Are they bad? Good point, Gothmog. Saying the exclusives are bad, crowd were crapping their pants when they heard Xbox games were coming to PlayStation. Yeah, I mean, here's what's weird to me about it, okay? And yeah, it does kind of bleed into the whole PlayStation versus Xbox thing, console war stuff. But I saw it, dude. Like last year when Microsoft announced like games like Blade and it was at the game. What else did Microsoft announce at the Game Awards? It was OD, I think, like Kojima's OD. I mean, these guys, these people were going nuts. And they were going nuts because it's exclusive. It's Xbox. It's an Xbox game. PlayStation fans cry. I was right there, dude. I was on the fucking ground level watching that shit unfold. And here we are now where it's like, seems pretty clear that Blade and OD are not going to be exclusive. And if they are, they're not going to be exclusive for long. Titus Crow still talking about bananas, saying bananas are just a good food, full stop. John O saying bananas and oatmeal with a spoon of condensed milk. You guys are really fixated. Go eat some bananas then, guys. Nothing's holding you back. Nothing's stopping you. Don't let my stream stop you from enjoying a banana or two. Neon Skater says he's eating a banana right now. Fred, you're saying MBG, we have heard and seen more on Death Stranding 2 than OD, which is odd. Well, Kojima did make it clear that OD is a smaller project, but it's also a super weird project. Like he did not hide the fact that OD is very much like a experimental type of game that's never been made before, and it's also like it's not like a full-blown AAA or what you would consider like traditional AAA. Towards Death Stranding 2, it is a sequel. There's already kind of a foundation there. So I think it does kind of make sense. I'm really curious to see what OD ends up being. Oatmeal does sound good, man. I like cream of wheat as well. How do you guys feel about carbohydrates? Sorry, Josh, I should read your super chats first before asking people about carbohydrates. Josh, you're saying, on one hand, I've been dying to know what PlayStation Studios is working on and feel it's overdue for a massive showcase. On the other hand, I am completely drowning in games. Hands full with Helldivers 2 and Final Fantasy Rebirth. Won't get to Rise of the Ronin or Dragon's Dogma 2. Definitely not on launch, and Stellar Blade is also coming. It's interesting you say that. Guys, hold your thoughts on the carbs. I have to answer Josh first. Josh, it's interesting that you say that because I actually was kind of thinking the same thing earlier. I started playing Rebirth again. I think I'm about 11 or 12 hours in. I don't know. I have to check the game clock. What the PlayStation is telling me is different from the game clock, but I'm beginning to realize like there's zero chance I'm done this game by the time Rise of the Ronin comes out. And so what I've decided to do for now, we'll see if I change my mind, is I'm not going to just move on from it. Like, I don't want to rush through the game. I want to enjoy it at the pace I want to enjoy it at. So what I'm going to do is, if I have to just wait to play Rise of the Ronin, then so be it. You know, like, I want to finish Rebirth first. I want to give it its due time. I don't want to just move on from it. I don't want to rush through it. I want to enjoy it at my own pace. And when I'm done that, then I will move on to Rise of the Ronin. I think that's just what I'm going to have to do. I don't want to just force myself to, buy a game and start playing it because it's like, guys, I got to tell you about this new game that came out. But what I can do is ask you guys to give me your thoughts, because I know that some of you will be playing Rise of the Ronin day one. So it'll kind of be, we'll do this in a bit of a reverse style, Normally, I'm the one telling you my thoughts on it. But this time around, when Rise of the Ronin comes out, because I know I'm still going to be playing Rebirth, I'll probably have you guys give me your thoughts on it. And I think sometimes it actually works better that way. Sometimes I find that the dynamic of having you guys give your thoughts, give your opinions, and then me kind of, listening to them and soaking them in, and then, okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to go play it now, and then I'll tell you whether I agree with it or not, It creates a different dynamic, I would say. And Chris B comes in out of nowhere and drops a 5 bomb on you guys. Chris B is keeping this membership train going today. Chris, thank you so much, man.
Hello to democracy.
There's some Helldivers for you.
It's dangerous to rely
and there
on
is
teraflops
a Mark Cerny for you.
Performance.
I see W's flowing in the chat for Chris. He just brought us up to 19 members. So, guys, we are just 6 away from hitting our goal. Thank you guys so much for all the continued support. Chris, thank you for coming in and dropping memberships consistently to the community here. I really appreciate it, man. Good stuff. Guys, I don't mean to put any pressure on you, but I can hear Boss out there. He wants his snacks. So, just saying, it's in your hands is all I'm saying. But Josh, yeah, man, I feel you. PlayStation Studios, I want to know more. Here's the good news, Josh. I think if we do hear from PlayStation Studios in a significant way this year, I don't think you're going to have to feel overwhelmed. I don't think you're going to feel overwhelmed by it, because I don't think we're going to be seeing like Sony come out and be like, we have like 2 brand new AAA IPs dropping like this year or anytime soon. Like, I think these are going to be games that are at minimum a year away, maybe a year and a half away. And we have Capono 5150 coming in, dropping a membership gift, getting us up to 20 members. Capono, shout out to you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for keeping the membership train going. Really do appreciate that. And just like that, we have Hellbound 1981 and Matt Fu both coming in back to back, dropping 5 membership gifts each. I knew Hellbound was going to show up. He's like, "What's that?" Boss is clawing at the door. He wants his snacks. Let's make it happen. Hellbound, thank you so much, man. Matt Fu, thank you as well. These guys just got us up to 30 members, just obliterated the goal. And Capono with his membership gift as well. That's 11 more memberships gifted. We're keeping it going today, guys. Let me update the goal. And I will be bringing Boss in very shortly. I have to time it correctly. Don't worry. He's going to get his snacks, as promised. I do have to time it correctly, though, because you guys know how it is. Once the beast enters the domain here, it's over. It's total chaos. He takes control. I can't stop it. So in a way, this is my way of showing respect to Boss. So I don't have to keep, moving him around all over the place. But I got, dude, he's obsessed with these snacks. Let me tell you. I'm trying to figure out which one he likes more. I'm trying to figure out if he likes the stuffed ones, I guess are like chicken flavored, or if he likes the dairy ones better. I can never tell. He seems to like all of these snacks equally. He just wants to check your cables. Yeah, dude, ever since he tried to chew my USB dongle on my PlayStation 5 for my headset, I've been very nervous. I'm like, bro, please don't destroy my stuff, man. But yeah, thank you guys for crushing the membership goal today already. We have, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Figuratively Literal with a super chat says, FF7 Rebirth is my game of the gen so far. Love it. I'm not surprised, man. Like, I am starting to make more progress. I just decided that I wanted to ask you guys this question, actually. For those of you who are playing Rebirth, I was trying to do everything on the map in the first open zone area. I was trying to do all of the side stuff on the map, but I kind of got to a point where it's like, I don't know how to get to this one area. It was like, I guess like the bottom, almost like not all the way to the bottom, but more towards the bottom left corner. I'm like, I don't know how to get to this part of the map, and it's not unlocked yet. So like, I don't know how to get there. So I just decided to progress with the main story, and I'm kind of working my way through that now. And I guess the question I'm trying to ask is, if you progress through the story, like, can you go back to these open zones and kind of clean up all the side stuff that you may have missed? Or is there like a point of no return, essentially? That's my only concern. I think I'm pretty sure you can just go back, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good. Yeah. So I'll probably start to get more comfortable just progressing through the story and not worrying that much about the side stuff. It costs some gil. Interesting. All right, that's good to know, because I don't. For some reason, I like got this feeling. I'm like, what if I'm not able to come back and do this stuff? Okay, yeah, I think that's what that's where I'm at now. You're saying after the Mithril Mines, you can go back. I think I'm making my way through the Mithril Mines now. But yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that, Figuratively Literal. The further I get in it, the more I play it, the more comfortable I get with it. It's like, yeah, I'm almost starting to wonder if it's going to be my game of the year, man. And that would be interesting, because I think Final Fantasy 16 was my game of the year last year, and it would be crazy if this year it ended up being Final Fantasy 7 as well. You're a Queen's Blood Master? Yeah, dude, apparently they're going to like, Square Enix is like, yo, maybe we'll make another game. It'll just be about Queen's Blood or some kind of expansion or something. I'm like, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, it was Lies of P. My bad. Yeah, how could I? Well, yeah, I guess. See, Lies of P was weird because I guess I did beat Lies of P at the end of December, but I didn't platinum it till January. And so I guess that's what kind of confused me, because I almost feel like, wait a second, did I really complete Lies of P in 2023? Can I count that? But I did. I just didn't platinum it. So yeah, Lies of P is my game of the year. Final Fantasy 16, I think, was the runner up for me. It was a close tie. The more it's funny, because the more I think about Final Fantasy 16, the more I'm like, yeah, I really did enjoy that game a lot. But Lies of P was phenomenal. I can't wait to see a sequel to Lies of P. We have Azurk. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Member for 10 months. Saying boss doing heavy lifting, driving the membership train. Yeah, I'm going to have to reward boss handsomely with these snacks. He knows. He's going to be super excited when I bring him in. I just have to be careful not to bring him in too soon because I don't think I'll be able to keep him under control. I know that some people get a little frustrated because boss can become so distracting that like I just get totally sidetracked from the topics. But you know what? I do want to return to carbohydrates for a moment here, if you guys allow me, because you guys were giving me your thoughts on carbs in the chat, and I had to finish reading the super chats. Here's a question I have about carbohydrates, right? I feel like Space Gambler saying let's not. I'm not going to go on long about this. I'm just curious. I want to know what you guys think about this. Everything I see today about carbohydrates is like they're bad for you. Low carb, no sugar, low carb. Carbs are not good for you. Carbs are the enemy. So on and so forth. My question is that still true if you're a very active person? If you exercise frequently or even constantly? If you are an extremely active person, are carbohydrates really that detrimental to you? That's my question, because I feel like a lot of this stuff I listen to, it's like maybe for like the average like person that's more sedentary, maybe they are bad or a lot worse for you, where like your body doesn't really, because like think about it, when you consume carbs, the whole thing is it causes an insulin spike, right? And your insulin goes up, and that is apparently that over time that can lead to like metabolic disorder or whatever, all the shit, all the bad shit, diabetes, we all know. But I'm like, but isn't that kind of good? Isn't that needed when you're a super active person? Like think about like athletes and stuff, right? They like literally need to feed their body sugar to like burn that shit, to literally fuel what they're doing. They're exercising. So I guess I'm just like kind of in the camp of, I don't know, man. Maybe they're really not that bad for you as long as you're, I guess as long as you're not going overboard and as long as you're active, like significantly active or relatively active, maybe. Activity matters. Yes, carbs are good, but most people don't pay attention to what they're eating, or carbs aren't good. And they get way too many carbs while doing nothing throughout the day. Yeah, I think that's the key right there, Illegal Monkey. It's exactly what you said. It's you're eating all these carbs, but you're not really doing much. Like your body really is just like, we don't need this. We don't need this fuel. Like you're giving us these insulin spikes, but we don't need them. I don't know. I've watched so much shit. I've listened to so much shit. It gets overwhelming. It's like, what is good for you? What's not good for you? Processed sugars are bad, for sure. And Matt Fu with a super chat here. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for all the support, buddy. You're saying playing Unicorn Overlord on the PlayStation Portal, and it's really awesome. I've been seeing this game pop up, Unicorn Overlord. I don't know anything about it. What is this game? Something tells me the name is deceptive, because I feel like I saw like a little bit of gameplay of it, and I'm like, I wouldn't have known that this would be the game called Unicorn Overlord. Vanillaware masterpiece. Essentially Final Fantasy Tactics. Interesting. Vanillaware game. They make great games. Let me see. I'm going to look it up now. Unicorn Overlord. Yeah, this is definitely not my style of game, but Interesting. First, I don't know why. Like when I hear the name Unicorn Overlord, like the images I'm seeing of this game, like this is just not what I would imagine. It doesn't evoke this imagery. 86 Metacritic, 97% of Google users like this video game. Unicorn Overlord is a 2024 tactical role-playing game developed by Vanillaware and published by Atlas in Japan and Sega worldwide. Huh. It's full multiplat too. I like the name Unicorn Overlord. I don't think it's a game that I would ever play, but Matt, you're saying you're playing it on your PlayStation Portal. Safe to say you're enjoying it, man. The Portal, that is. I mean, obviously you're enjoying the game, but yeah, for those of you who do have the PlayStation Portal, how has it been for you? Are you still using it? Is it still something that that you're finding yourself using frequently, or are you using it less and less? I did see that apparently the developer, you're saying Vanillaware, I saw like a post that claimed they like ran out of money during game development. El Nini, you're saying you use it at work. How's that work, Alpha? Is that actually, does it work okay? Like, I mean, does the PlayStation Portal, does it function properly? I'm assuming well, I guess my assumption is when you say you use it at work, my assumption is you're not working at home, that you're working outside of your home. MBG, look at how many 6-star ratings it has in the PlayStation Store. It might be something special. Now you guys are going to try to get me to play Unicorn Overlord. Matt Fu, you're saying yes, the Portal is awesome. You saying you use it every day. Interesting. Daily use. Well, I think it's safe to say is $200 well spent then, assuming you got it when it came out. Do you guys hear that? Do you hear Boss meowing outside the door? Hold on. I'm going to turn my mic gain all the way up, and I want you to tell me if you hear him. Okay. No, I was sorry for the awkward silence. I really wanted to see if I could get you guys to hear him because he was meowing out there. Take the mic to the door. I would have to undo the whole thing here, but let Boss speak. I'm gonna let him in just a minute. Jay Shocker, you're like, what the F you doing, bro? I'm just sitting here awkwardly waiting to hear Boss's meow. He was meowing really loud though. Like he doesn't normally meow like that. Now that's why I was really desperate to I didn't want to talk, by the way. I turned my mic gain all the way up. If I had said anything, it would have exploded like your speakers. So but yeah, that was maybe he'll meow when I bring him in. I'll see if I can get him to talk. Boss, say meow. He has such a baby meow, dude. He really does. That's why I want you guys to hear it. Like it's just so not, I don't know. I guess it is a common type of meow. It's not like that weird sounding. He wants snacks. He definitely does. Boss will meow for treats. I don't know if I could get him to meow for treats. I mean, maybe he would. I feel like I tried that before and it didn't work. But let's see how. Oh, you know what? My bad. I forgot to tell you guys about this. I have a topic here, or an article. I mean, the PS5 update 9.0 exits beta, and it's now available to all players globally. PS5's major system software version 9.0 has finally exited beta today, bringing new DualSense and console features to all players worldwide. Highlights include improved sound and mic quality on the DualSense. That's interesting to me. I'm going to have to test this out because, dude, the mic quality and the sound quality on the DualSense, if you're just using that mic, is not good. So I want to see how much they improve that. And the ability to adjust the brightness of the PS5's power indicator. So here we go. We've updated the device software of the DualSense and DualSense Edge wireless controllers to improve their sound features. The controller speakers can now produce higher volume sound, allowing you to hear in-game sounds and voice chat audio more clearly. The mic input quality on these controllers has been improved with a new AI machine learning model. Background noise from button presses and game audio are suppressed, resulting in a better voice chat experience. So, all right, this is actually pretty good. That's a pretty good update to the DualSense because that, to me, has to be the most annoying aspect of it is if you're talking to anybody who's using the DualSense microphone, you hear all the button clicks, you hear a lot of background stuff. It's just very, very much not ideal. They say you can now adjust the brightness of your PS5's power indicator, go to settings, system, beep, and light, and then select brightness. We've added new features in parties and share screen. Players watching share screen can use pointers and emoji reactions to interact with the host gameplay. Viewers can use a pointer or indicate a specific location on the gameplay screen with ping. That's it. That's interesting to me. Viewers can also send emoji reactions. This feature is available when the host turns on viewer interactions in the share screen settings. Unicode 15.1 emoji is supported. You can now use them in messages. We've updated the device software of the DualSense and DualSense Edge controllers, PlayStation VR 2 headset, PSVR 2 Sense controllers, Access controller as well to improve stability. We've improved system software, performance, and stability. We've improved the messages and usability on some screens. So, you know, it's interesting. It is a full-blown PS5 update, but nothing huge, you know? But yeah, those improvements to the DualSense, I would say, are very nice. I only use that mic to tell people that I'm grabbing my mic. Yeah, so yes, actually, I did experience this. I was playing Final Fantasy Rebirth earlier, and Chadley was exploding through the freaking DualSense. Like, he was way louder. I was like, well, I gotta turn this shit down. I don't remember him being this loud. It was a lot clearer though, so definitely a nice improvement there. That share screen stuff will be used to troll. Probably, yeah. Do you guys use those features in parties? Do you use like share screen ever? I feel like I've only used it like a couple of times ever, but mostly not something I use. Sorry, I'm just very thirsty right now. Chris, you're saying you used it the day the PS4 launched, but not since. Okay. I feel like there are a lot of people who've never used that feature. So check this out. I have a another right up here. Just a second. All right, yeah. So this write up is about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's Queen's Blood. This is from Push Square. They say it's a truth universally acknowledged that no great RPG can be complete without a quality collectible card game. And Square Enix brought the heat with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and its exceptional Queen's Blood. The mode has proven a welcome distraction for adventurers working their way through the PS5 console exclusive, and word is there may be more on the way. Speaking with Red Bull director, all right, I'm going to say Naoki Hamaguchi. Apparently, I say that wrong. Apparently, I say Naoki wrong. Naoki. I think that's how you say it. Hamaguchi said that while his team hasn't decided anything on future development, feedback has been very positive, and so it wants to consider further expansions as a possibility. There are already 145 cards in the game, but we could certainly see more kind of DLC add-ons incorporating more. So I wanted to let you guys know about this because, yeah, the Queen's Blood card game is actually really good. Hold on, really quick, Titus, you're saying WTF, that's a glass. What are you talking about, my cup that I just drank from? Naoki, okay. Yeah, okay. Naoki Hamaguchi, Naoki Yoshida. I feel the need to pronounce it Naoki. So American. I'd be down for them if they want to release expansions for Queen's Blood, because that card game is very fun. They did a really good job with it. It's pretty addicting. There you go. Irvin, you're saying if Sony's smart, they'll make a Queen's Blood mobile game with Square. That'll be huge. That would be huge. I don't know if Sony wouldn't be involved with that though, man. Unless they want to like fund it and market it, but I think that would be all Square's thing. Pronunciation violation. All right, let me clear the way here. Let me see. We're at an hour and 47 minutes. I'm going to have to let boss in, but I have to clear a path. I'll give him his snacks as well, as promised. Let me go get him. It's snack time, boss. Oh, did you guys hear that? Did you hear him meow? Hold on. Let me see if I can. You want some? You want some snacks? Come on. You got to meow. Meow. Speak. 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 Come on, boss. I know. He refuses to do it, man. Irvin, you're saying you did hear it? Everybody else is saying they didn't. Do you want the snacks? You want the snacks? Come on, all you gotta do is meow one time. Meow into the mic one time and you'll get the snacks. Come on. Come on. I'm trying, guys. He won't do it. All right, here you go. Enjoy, boss. Once again, that's thanks to this community for hitting our goal today. One day you guys will hear Boss Meow. I don't know when that day will be, but you'll hear it. He sees the mother load. Yeah. If it was my cat, she'd be going nuts, singing a million songs. I think he knows. I think he knows when he's on camera or something. I don't, because he will meow like at other times. I wish Leia cared about the snacks as well. If Leia cared about the snacks, man, she would be talking all the time. No doubt about it. Record it and put it on the soundboard. That's a good idea. That would still be challenging though. The only way I think I could realistically record it with a high quality is I would have to record it using this microphone and the software. So I would still have to get him to do it here, you know? And we get Disco Cobra 2013 coming in, dropping a $50 super chat out of nowhere. He says, here, go buy Boss more snacks. I'm just kidding. That's not what he said in the super chat. But Disco Cobra, dude, thank you so much. All right, hold on. Boss, I do not understand how you function, bro. Like, I gave you what you wanted. Why are you biting my microphone? You have snacks. You didn't even eat them all. Why are you doing this to me? At this point, I think he's just doing it to entertain you guys. He knows. He's tormenting me, and he knows you guys like it. Boss, I'm going to need you to watch out, though, because I have to read Disco Cobra's super chat. I literally have to back all the way up here, man, because he's... Don't bite my mic. Do whatever you want, boss. Just don't bite wires and don't bite my mic. But Disco Cobra, dude, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Extremely generous of you, man. Thank you for showing such awesome support. Hold on. You're going to stay here now. All right, let me read what you had to say, Disco Cobra. You're saying, I'm not sure if it's credible, but I saw a video talking about a possible controller with longer battery life. Someone said they will be releasing it soon and it will be around the same price. Also curious on your mic setup. Is that an XLR or a USB mic? Well, to answer the second part of this, this is still a USB mic. I bought this microphone years ago. I think it's called the Yeti X, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's the one. And everybody uses XLR mics, and eventually I would like to upgrade to that. I think everybody basically uses the Shure. I know there's like two different variants. There's like the more premium one. Oh my God, boss, will you go away, dude? What the hell? There are snacks. There are literally snacks here. Please eat your snacks. Stop eating my microphone stand, bro. I need to get a new stand or a new mic arm because, like, I need to get something that's cat-proof, something that can't be chewed. But yeah, the Blue Yeti X is the mic I use, and I use the software that comes with it. And I've compared how that sounds, like my current mic setup with the software, to the more premium Shure, XLR setup. And there's definitely a difference. Like, I do again want to upgrade to that in the future. The reason why I haven't been able to do so, or I couldn't bring myself to do so, is because there's nothing wrong with this microphone currently. I think it gets the job done. I think it sounds very good, very high quality. And it just feels like one of those things where, all right, when this mic eventually dies, which I'm sure it will at some point, then I'll upgrade to the next category up, which would be, yeah, and that's the thing too, the XLR mics, they do require a little bit more. So to get that higher sound quality, you definitely have to pay for it and configure it, but in due time. But if you're like looking to, buy a mic, I would say USB mics, as long as you're using some kind of software, whether you know, it's software that's built specifically for that microphone or other software, you can get a really high quality sound from a USB mic. It won't necessarily match an XLR, but yeah, they've made I'd say pretty big strides. As for the first part of your super chat, when you're talking about hearing about I'm assuming you're talking about a DualSense that's going to be releasing with a longer battery life. You're claiming you heard somebody talking about this in a video, but you're not sure if it's credible or not. I will say a couple of months ago, it feels like it was a couple of months ago, there was like this kind of leak, if you want to call it that, where apparently there was like the DualSense V2 or something that came out, where one of the selling points or one of the bullet points listed was a longer battery life. But I feel like that may have been debunked. I think a lot of people were saying like, no, that's actually like it's not real, because the battery life that they were listing is the same as the original battery life that Sony claimed for the DualSense. But I don't know. It would make sense. I do think the weakest part of the DualSense is the battery. I haven't had issues with the battery. I've talked to you guys about this before, where it's like, yeah, it is on the lower end, but I have the charger, the charging station that Sony made for it, and I have a DualSense Edge and a regular DualSense. And if the Edge, if it ever hits low battery, I can just swap it out for the regular DualSense. But I haven't really run into that problem. Capono, you're saying my mic sounds good. You don't see the issue. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, like I think you would have to be like an audiophile to be able to hear the difference between my microphone and like an XLR one. But if you listen, like if you were to listen with like really high quality headphones, you could, back to back, side by side, you could probably spot some differences, certainly. But yeah, that's the thing. I was like, when I was researching XLR mics and Shure and whatnot and seeing how expensive they are, I would like listen to the sound quality and compare it to what I have now. And I'm like, man, there's very little difference. But that day will come. Like at the rate it's going, Boss is literally destroying my shit right now. At the rate it's going, I'm going to have to upgrade sooner rather than later. Boss, what is wrong with you, bro? Why are you doing this? So Disco Cobra, I would say let's just wait and see. I don't know that if I fully believe that Sony's getting ready to announce a new DualSense that's going to be like double the battery. It would be great though. Like if Sony were to announce, hey, we've upgraded the battery life in the DualSense, so going forward it's like I don't know, like 15, 18 hours or something like that, like 20 hours. That'd be amazing. But here, boss. There you go. Go get some fresh air. I opened the window for you. Please, God, stop chewing my mic. Oh, there are birds out there chirping. Oh, maybe you guys will get to see him act like a weirdo. He acts pretty weird when there's birds outside. But Disco Cobra, again, man, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for dropping such generous super chats, whether it be, on the regular streams and the members lounges. I really do appreciate it, buddy. Portal Ash, you're saying Boss seriously hates the mic. I think I know what it is. Boss likes to chew. Not chew. That's the wrong word. Boss likes to bite things. I mean, like, really bite them. He'll go around my house and just bite shit. It's like he's testing to see, like, can I bite through this? And I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I don't know if that's a normal cat thing, by the way. Like, I really don't know if that's like normal cat behavior. But that's just what he does. He likes to lick curtains. That's what Boss does. And he likes to attempt to bite things just to see if he can. Is this cake? Is this edible? Bring Leia in as a distraction for boss? I would, but does MBG Jr. chase the cats? Yes. Oh my God. That I'm trying to teach him to not completely scare the living shit out of my cats. But yes, he's at that age where he finds great joy, and it's very humorous when because you think boss is so tough, dude. When little MBG comes in running, they scatter, bro. The other day, I think it was yesterday actually, I scared the living shit out of Leia by accident. I was vacuuming the other bedroom, and and I was like going from one bedroom to the other with the vacuum, and I guess Leia just wasn't expecting that, and she was standing outside the door. And you know, cats are always just naturally scared of vacuums, but I guess it got way too close for comfort, dude. She fucking flew, man. I was like, Leia, are you okay? Like, did I give you a heart attack? I didn't mean to do that. But that's kind of the, you know, that's part of the joy of having cats, right? Is that there are these random moments where you see a cat's soul leave its body. Not, and you don't know why exactly. It's not like you were trying to scare them. They just get scared by something, and the reactions you get are just priceless, man. The best thing, though, by the way, with cats is in the living room and the hallway we have hard floors, and like when the cats get scared out there and they try to scatter, they can't gain traction, so they're just sitting there like, you know, desperately trying to gain any traction they can to escape, and shit's funny, man. All right. Let's see. You're saying I should get a dog? I don't think Boss would allow that, man. Boss does not like dogs. He is not okay with dogs. MBG, you vacuum your home? What sort of gamer are you, bro? You're cleaning shit. I like vacuuming. Vacuuming is extremely satisfying. I don't know about you, but like, there's just something about seeing those vacuum lines, and I like having clean floors. And you know, having a child, I'll tell you, man, you gotta be on top of it, because kids, they like to have snacks, and they're always drinking juices and stuff, and there's just food, there's crumbs and food everywhere, so you got to be on top of it, or it will get out of hand quick. But yeah, I think I'm a pretty clean person, generally speaking. Like I see that guy, he's very famous, Asmongold. Like, I saw this video of him one time. I think it was a recent video where he gave a house tour, and I was like, no way, that's not good, dude. I don't understand that. Like, there has to be something going on in a person's mind. Something to live like that, man, where it's like, that's bad. I get how, like, sometimes you can tolerate messiness and disorganization. You know, I think we all experience that at times. It's like you kind of let things go just a little bit. But then there's like that point where it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, just literally living in trash is, I'd be so disgusted. I couldn't do it. Saying MBG's dad was military, definitely had to clean his home often. My father was pretty clean as well. Very much in the organization and being orderly. It's weird because, like, I don't recall my dad like instilling that in me. Maybe he did. I feel like my cleanliness, though, like, I'm not the most clean person in the world. I'm not the most organized person in the world. There are definitely parts of my home that are like not organized and very disheveled. But it's like the space that I spend the most time in, I definitely need it to be like clean and organized, or I'm not going to be able to function. I feel like that just came naturally, but maybe I'm wrong. That's why that's why I appreciate the dust catchers in the PS5 so much, man. Makes life easy. The dude, you're saying my dad was ex-military, and I find that was one thing I learned: clean, organized home. Yeah, maybe that is something that was instilled, and I just even on like a subconscious level, and I didn't realize it. Fred, you're saying the story behind why he is like that is pretty sad, MBG. He was not always like that, but his mom was a hoarder, and after her passing, he seemed to adopt it. Oh, damn, that's dark. That would explain it, though, actually. Yeah, that is very sad. Well, yeah, hopefully, yeah, I mean, being a hoarder, man, that's not good. That's definitely quite damaging. Hopefully he can overcome that. Because I see people say all the time, like, dude, he's like a multimillionaire. He's like one of the most famous streamers. Like he could afford cleaning maids, you know, professional cleaners. He could afford to just buy a new home, probably a mansion if he wanted or something. And it is like there's something very fascinating in a sense to see somebody where it's like to have so much money and so much success, and like it's like, nah, I'd prefer to live this way. Like this is what I'm comfortable in, I guess. It's fascinating. Still have to air blow the fan of the PS5. Yeah, I haven't checked my PS5 in a while. There's probably a decent amount of dust accumulation. I should probably clean it soon. He even said in a clip he could afford to have it a maid clean his place every day. Yeah, it's interesting. Mrs. MBG, she watches this YouTuber. It's a woman who actually she films herself cleaning really, really, really dirty homes that like kind of look like that. And you know, she doesn't ask people to pay her. The deal that she makes is basically let me film myself cleaning your home and I won't charge you for it. And she makes videos for YouTube, and I guess she makes money doing that. You should hire her. But yeah, man, it's I guess slightly more common than you would realize. You're saying you should take the fan out because the dust is in the heat sink. Well, the PS5 Pro's coming at the end of this year, so I'll probably still clean it out though. Boska, you're saying you see your videos a lot. Some of these homes are awful. Yeah, it's, you know, my whole thing is like some of the stuff I see, I would be genuinely concerned about my health. You know, like some of the stuff that people allow to get so filthy and like so, you have to imagine it could become so toxic that it's like dangerous. Like what kind of bacteria, you know, or fungus or mold could be growing that like you're breathing in. It's scary. To me, it's scary. The dude, you're saying you get real insane about being clean. You clean your toilet 2 times a week. Well, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like that to me, that doesn't sound neurotic or anything. I mean, you just want a clean toilet. What's wrong with that? MBG and chill. I guess yeah. I've pretty much run out of topics. I don't know. There's like nothing going on this month in gaming, dude, or in terms of gaming news. There's like hardly anything to talk about. So thank you guys for continually showing up to my streams and showing support. Seriously, it's times like this I get worried. We're like, yo, what's going on out there? But it's normal. It happens. It happens. It's the normal up and down cycle of the news. No, I know, Oliver. Gaming Survivor, you're asking if I think AI is good for gaming. I think it'll help. Yeah. I think it's just like anything else. It can be good, it can be bad. I think it's dependent upon how it's used. I think there's going to be a a decision that has to be made by all companies where it's like, how ethical are you going to be about this? I think that AI can be a tool that can be used to help out the development teams as well as the companies, but I also believe it's something that as it advances, it can be exploited and potentially, start to make people ask questions like, how much of this game was made by AI versus how much of it was actually made by people? How many people were replaced by AI? Stuff like that. So I think it's just like anything else where it has the power to be very useful, very productive, very positive, but it can go in the other direction just as easily. I think it's just dependent upon us, human beings, and how we choose to use it. You better be okay with AI because the PS5 Pro APU will be using it to double frame rates. Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, to me, that makes a lot of sense. Like that to me is a really good use of AI. And I'm super interested. Like that's why I'm hoping when the PS5 Pro is revealed, Mark Cerny does talk about it, because if there is AI implemented, surely he was involved with that implementation, and I would like to hear him talk about it and how it could, how it could help not just the PS5, or how it's going to help not just the PS5 Pro, but maybe a little, couple of teases of what we could expect with the PlayStation 6. I mean, I think AI for like NPCs and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that we could go really far with that, which would enhance games. You still weren't able to play Helldivers with me? It's scandalous. You're not missing much, Oliver, I'll be honest. I feel like I just totally suck at it now. I feel like I was getting good, and now I just back to square one. Just wait till they lock down quantum processors. Shit. AI to generate background environments. Well, I think it was in a recent Members Lounge episode, if I'm not mistaken, where we were watching about some advancements in AI, and it's getting pretty crazy out there, man. No more handmade assets. See, stuff like that is interesting to think about, right? Because it's like on one hand, it's how much would it matter to me as the video game player? See all those assets over there? Yeah, they weren't made by a person. To be honest, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm a consumer. Like, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known. But if I am aware of it, that, yeah, not only were all these assets not made by a person, but a bunch of developers basically are jobless now. It's like, yeah, that would make me feel a little uneasy. Like, damn, something about that feels a little slimy, But if you're a corporation and you're a business, it's like, hell yeah, more devs we don't have to pay. Money we can save. I do expect down the line it's going to be a complete shit show. Assets can now be fully generated by a prompt. In about 6 months, they won't even be cleaned up. They won't even need to be cleaned up, apparently. Yeah, see, that's the crazy shit right there. The idea that you could basically just, prompt AI to just like, hey, make like a 4K or 8K asset, and you just describe what it is, and it's just boom, just shits it out perfectly. Like, whoa. I mean, yeah, if you're a developer, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a good thing though. Maybe, again, it could go either way. Maybe this will allow development teams, I don't know. I guess if I'm trying to be an optimist about it, like maybe they can start focusing on different things, like tackling different problems. Like, hey, we don't have to spend all this time and effort and money, painstakingly creating every asset by hand. So instead, we can focus on more important areas of the game, the actual gameplay mechanics, the story, just the overall concept of the game. Things that are obviously critically important to the game. Did I see the Sora AI thing? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. AI is soulless. Is it though? Or did we give it a soul? Think about that one. Saying I wasn't able to watch the live streams the last few weeks. I started to study informatics, being 32 years old, but my goal is to get a job at Microsoft so we can infiltrate them. It's good to know, Oliver. Yeah, let me know if that works out. We have an inside man. Kevin, you're saying as a dev who daily works with AI, nowhere near perfect, but it does expedite repetitive work. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Maybe it's not so much about, it's going to replace devs and it's going to, kill all their jobs. Maybe it'll just streamline the job, make it so that they can just be, because think about it. Like if you're a corporation, I mean, of course, the idea of, can this artificial intelligence do everything, maybe even better than an actual paid employee? Of course, that's tempting to just be like, okay, well, let's just do that. But there's also something you said about, corporations do care very much about efficiency, and the more efficiently teams can get things done in a not just a timely manner, but with high quality, that can be very beneficial to these companies as well. So, but maybe I'm giving them too much credit. AI has trouble with hands. Yeah, that's true. It will kill some jobs for sure. Yeah, yeah. I think that is true. I anticipate that will be a reality. I don't know that I fully believe it's going to be like as dire as some people make it sound, but okay. Kirby Shaw with a $10 super chat. It's your 20th time super chatting, man. Thank you for that. Kirby, thank you for all the support, buddy. You're saying, are you still rocking the original PS5 model, or did you quote unquote upgrade to the Slim? Also, will you be purchasing a Pro at launch, or will you wait to pull the trigger until reviews come out? Good question. I'm still rocking the original PS5 model. I'll be honest with you. I like the original PS5 model, man. I just like the way it looks. Is it a little too big? Yes, but I think that's kind of part of its charm. I don't have a problem with the Slim. It's just, I didn't want to buy a Slim just for the sake of it. You know, if I have to buy another PS5 for any reason, then obviously all that will really be available is a Slim. But when it comes to the PS5 Pro, for me, 100% I will be buying it at launch. Yes, no doubt about that. I'm not going to wait for reviews. I do want the Pro. Like, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like the Pro could be like a 5% upgrade and I would still get it. I probably still would. I do have expectations, I guess is what I'm trying to say, for the Pro, and my expectations are somewhat high. So it's like, when it comes to reviews, I don't, it's weird because like, I don't feel like I need any reviews for something like a PS5 Pro. Like, what I really need and what I'm going to be looking for is when Sony is like, here's the PS5 Pro, I'm just immediately going to be asking, all right, show me the games running on it. And I've talked about this before, right? I've talked about how, like, are they going to show Wolverine running on a PS5 Pro? Are they going to show Death Stranding 2 running on a PS5 Pro? Are they going to show maybe even a game like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where it's like, this game has also been Pro enhanced? Look at it now, right? A question I'm going to have about the PS5 Pro is, when Sony shows it off, are they going to focus on trying to show things off at 60 FPS? Or are we still going to see them showing things off running at 30 FPS, but, you know, it's on a Pro, and so look at how shiny and insanely detailed everything now looks. Look at this lighting, right? I mean, I suspect that's probably the way they're going to go, but I'm excited for the Pro. I am. I can't lie. I mean, maybe that's kind of coming through pretty obviously, but saying Space Gambler, saying it depends on the price. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they're like, it's $700, that's going to feel like a bit of a gut punch. Like, fuck, that's expensive. You know, like, I thought maybe it was going to be like 600, and I am anticipating 600, but I don't know though. There is that whole idea, like, if it is more than $600, then it must mean it's going to be really good. Or yeah, Ghost of Tsushima 2 on the PS5 Pro. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait to get over this lull period, because I'm telling you, I think Sony's got a lot of shit to show off this year, but we're just not quite there yet, you know? Once we get into April, May, and June, I think that's when it really starts to kick off, where it's like, we're going to start hearing about these games. We're going to start seeing new reveals. We're going to start hearing from PlayStation Studios. We're going to get a better idea of what's coming for the rest of this year, what's coming in 2025. We're going to hear about the PS5 Pro. We're going to see the PS5 Pro. It's going to release this year. We're going to, I feel like the past couple months, truthfully, not even just the past couple months, but basically even like December, even November a little bit last year. It's just, it feels like the gaming industry has been on just some kind of downward trajectory, and it's been so doom and gloom and so shitty. There was a bright spot with the state of play we just got, for sure, but then it went right back to the like doom and gloom shitty side. And I'm like, I'm ready for excitement again, man. Like, I'm ready for, you know, the events and the shows, and we do have the game releases, and obviously that's very good. That is the most important thing. We're playing games, but I think you guys know what I mean. I get a lot of satisfaction out of following the gaming industry. I get sometimes just as much satisfaction following the games industry and seeing what's going on, seeing what's being announced, what's being speculated, what's being rumored. I get just as much satisfaction out of that sometimes as I do actually playing great games. And so, you know, there's always just this, it's a bit selfish, I won't lie, but it's a bit like, I want there to be just a constant feedback loop of just, I'm playing great games. And when I'm not playing great games, I'm talking about great games. And if I'm not talking about great games, I'm watching great games being revealed. And if I'm not watching great games being revealed, I'm seeing leaks and rumors of great games. You know what I mean? I just want this constant feedback. And I know it's a little bit selfish and unrealistic, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying, where we have had those moments where when it's good, it's really good, man. When the entire industry is firing on all cylinders and everything's on fire in a good way, not in a bad way, it's awesome. You know, I think that's why people like, to me, that is gaming culture. You know, like that is gaming culture today, where it's not just about playing games. It's also about talking about games. It's about anticipating games. It's about this right here, right? So the PS5 Pro to me is going to be. Here's my question for the PS5 Pro. Okay, it's a pretty simple question. Is Sony going to view it as basically a second opportunity, like a second PS5 launch? Are they going to approach it like we're basically soft relaunching the PS5? That's what I want to know, because something tells me that that's exactly what they might do. Where, not to bring it up again, but the reason why Sony would feel so inclined to do that is because the launch of the PS5, it wasn't well, let's face it, it kind of was disastrous, right? Like, they did it. Like, they pulled it off, man, where it's like, holy shit, they did it. But the circumstances were just bullshit. Like, let's be honest, man. The circumstances of these next-gen consoles launching was bullshit. And we all know that. And so it's like, you know, we're going to be in the 4th year of it being out. It's going to be it's going to kick off the second half of the life cycle of this console. I think Sony might be viewing this more so as like, this is an opportunity to kind of lean into what could be a more proper launch for the PS5. We'll see, though. We'll see. I just hope that they have big plans. That's all. Yeah, no, it wasn't just disastrous for the consoles. It was the whole world, yeah. That year was disastrous, for sure. So, Kirby, thank you for the super chat, man, and thank you for the continued support on the channel. Really means a lot. Appreciate you guys always showing up, always showing me love and showing the community love. Showing Boss love. Boss returns. MBG devs will always make games based on the base models of consoles. Yeah, for sure. What's interesting to think about is, you know, the dev kits for the PS5 Pro are out there right now. So, conceivably, by the time the Pro is announced, if it's announced in September, I think a lot of games could be optimized for it. Fred, you're saying, I think the investment for new IP is Hiroki listening to the consumers and saying we need new and interesting games. Yeah, for sure. Something that I was thinking about is like, if Sony invested like 50% more, so we go back to 2019. If we go back to 2019, Sony's total investment into new IP, I believe, was 19%. See if I can bring it up here again. Where is it now? I lost it. Sorry, hold on, guys. I'm pretty sure it was 19%. I can't find that post that I had up earlier. Here we go. 20%. Okay, I was 1% off. So yeah, if we go back to 2019, and here's the thing, think about the year 2019. That's like one of the last years of the PlayStation 4. And we saw that, man, Sony did a pretty good job investing in new IP like Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima, Days Gone, etc. And people loved it. It is a pretty big deal, as I said earlier, that we're seeing a jump from 20% investment up to 50%. That's a 30% increase. That's massive. And that's in a relatively short period of time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that it seems like even though Sony was obviously greatly investing into live service and dumping all this money into live service games and greenlighting them and buying Bungie and whatnot, they also were reinvesting into single player, into new IP, into their bread and butter studios, so to speak. And I think that that's just kind of lost on a lot of people because, again, too much of the focus is currently on, the negative side of the investment that Sony made, which most of it was the live service stuff. But we have yet to see the positive side of these investments, which will be the games that are going to be announced, I assume, this year, next year, and the games that are going to be coming for the remainder of the generation. Ben's new IP has to become the next Ghost of Tsushima. Otherwise, they might be in trouble. They need this thing to hit big. I agree. And I'm super, super fascinated with whatever Sony Ben's new IP might be, dude, because I mean, these are the guys that made Days Gone, and now they're like, we have new leadership and we're making something brand new. The thing that I think sounds very promising about Sony Ben's new IP, and it was really the only thing that they could confirm, is they're saying that they're taking all of the things that they learned developing Days Gone, because they never made a game like Days Gone. It was a big open world AAA experience with a cinematic story that they tried to tell. And I think they did a great job, dude. Like, I think that game could have been, like, I know some people are like, man, I don't like Days Gone, but I think the game could have been way worse. So I really enjoyed Days Gone. And I like the fact that they're like, yeah, we're going to take all of that and we're going to apply it to our new game. That tells me it's probably going to be open world. There will be multiplayer, by the way. But I think it's going to be like co-op multiplayer. Here's what I want to know about Sony Ben's IP, new IP. The rumor is that it's a stealth action. It's like a stealth action game based in the Cold War era. It's like a combination of MGS5, Hitman, Splinter Cell. I'm like, holy shit, dude. I really want to know if that's true. I'm dying to know if that's true or not. And it makes sense because Sony Bend, they created Siphon Filter, right? But in due time, we'll find out. All in due time. It's Fizzant. Yeah. Yeah, dude, if you're Sony Bend, you've been working on like a stealth action game for a couple years now, new IP. You're in the middle of your development cycle. You see the announcement. Kojima just announced Fizzant, his new stealth action espionage game. In conjunction with PlayStation, you're probably like, oh, fuck. Boss, your breath stinks, bro. Hey. This cat, dude. You know, boss, I opened the window for you, man. I thought you would have wanted to go chill over there. My cats love when I open the windows. Where are we at? Let me see. Maybe they're using the Horde zombie tech for a bunch of NPCs in one area. I'm sure they're doing something with it, yeah. Because that tech was too good. Yeah, I agree with that too, Jack. Ben's game is definitely going to come out before Fizzant. For sure, yeah. Imagine that with Decima. Oof. Yeah, dude, fighting the zombie hordes in Days Gone was amazing. That's what I don't understand about some of the reviews, man. Like, some of the reviews that were trashing the game, it's like, did you play this shit? That was awesome. I hope they can utilize that technology in their next game, because it was really good. What did I miss? New games going to be announced? JDab, yes. Your hopes and dreams are going to come true. Trust in Sony. Never waver. Come on, boss. I'm tired of your ass always being in the camera, man. J-Dub's just like, awesome. He doesn't even question it. He's just like, yes. Yes. This is awesome. Isn't there like an epic ending to Days Gone? Yes, there is. I'm not going to spoil it, but it leaves you on the biggest cliffhanger ever. It really does. Like, it leaves you on the biggest cliffhanger. There is overall resolution to like the main goal of the game, but then something else presents itself that it was a good ending, I think. It was a nice little surprise. It was, yeah. It was absolutely primed for a sequel. Jack, you're saying isn't Sony Bend using Unreal 5? I don't think so. I don't think they confirmed that. Let me see. Yeah, there's, as far, I mean, I just looked it up. There doesn't seem to be any new information about this new IP. No rumors, no leaks. There's nothing really. It's under wraps, man. It's under wraps. Chris, you're asking, should I buy Metal Gear Solid 5 on Steam for my handheld? I think you should, yeah. I don't think you can go wrong with that. Metal Gear Solid 5 is a great game. So if you are going to double dip to buy to play it on your handheld, I think it's worth it, yeah. Yeah, Days Gone was Unreal 4. I could see them using the Decima engine though, because I think that's something Sony at least has encouraged, where it's like, we would like more of our studios to use their own engines, you know? I mean, let's not forget something important that's worth noting is that I do believe we covered, this was a while ago, I think this was over a year ago, that there was a new team formed at, I think it may have been, but this new team was formed to help basically modify Decima to make it more ubiquitous, to make it easier for more development teams to consider using it for their game. That was something that we covered and something that Sony was pursuing. And it's smart, you know, like Sony wants to have a game engine that they own that can be used for more than like one or two types of games. That can be very flexible. You're saying devs need to stop using these overreaching engines. Every game is like Crysis now. It's bullshit. I mean, yeah, I could see that side of it as well. William G, you're saying Days Gone's ending was really great, but it made me so furious that there will never be a sequel. Well, I don't want to give you too much hope or anything, but the Days Gone IP is not abandoned by Sony. They're making a movie of Days Gone, and they ported it to PC. Like, they still care about the Days Gone IP. I just think it's like on hiatus right now. I think Ben doesn't want to make a sequel right now, and Sony's not going to force them. But I think Sony sees the value in the IP. So, I'm not trying to give you hopium here, but I just think that there is a chance we will eventually find out what happens next. Mark, you're saying MBG, have you ever regretted leaving Xbox for PlayStation, or are you glad that you did? You left Xbox because PlayStation had the games, but PlayStation are putting the games on PC anyway. You could have stayed with Xbox. No, I don't regret it at all. And there are multiple reasons for that. Reason number one, when I bought the PlayStation 4 and I bought a bunch of the games that you guys recommended to me and games that were already appealing to me, but I just needed to kind of make the jump over. That was some of the best gaming I ever experienced in a short period of time, dude. It was like overwhelmingly good. I was like, holy shit, It was like a buffet of just these awesome single player experiences that, it's that shit just didn't exist on Xbox. Like nothing even came close. At least it felt that way. But some other reasons are, to be honest, like I was able to grow, and again, I wasn't expecting this, but I was able to grow my channel in that way where there were a lot of people that were like, yeah, dude, we want to hear you talk about PlayStation because we've been playing on PlayStation. We've been playing these games and we've been trying to tell you like you're missing out. And it was like it was an overwhelmingly good experience across the board where I was doing some great gaming. I was really enjoying myself. I was seeing some success on the channel, and I'm like, this is awesome. And over time, we've created a really, I think, awesome community here. It sucks to see how, like, for some reason, for the past, like, year and a half, there's been, like, some kind of crusade against, like, PlayStation fans to where it's like, if you have anything like positive to say, it's like you're a pony or whatever. It's like, okay, I don't know what's up with that, but I guess for like a little bit there, maybe it's still this way, but it became like the cool thing to kind of hate on PlayStation. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm still enjoying it, like, So I used it to grow the channel. Well, no, that wasn't the actual purpose of it, because the truth is, like, my channel was pretty small at the time. And it wasn't like, oh, well, if I do this, if I go to PlayStation, it'll grow my... Dude, I was actually very much afraid to do that. The audio is cutting in and out. Microsoft is trying to silence me. Try to refresh it. No, I know it was a joke, Rudy. I know. But believe it or not, to a lot of people, like, that's exactly what they said. They're like, no, dude, that's why you did that. And I'm like, listen, man, it was very risky for me to do that. Like, I was ready for my channel to die completely. Like, it's like, okay, I can't do this anymore because, I'd spent all this time garnering an audience that expects me to talk about Xbox, and I basically was going to come out and be like, I fucking hate Xbox now, guys. Like, I'm sorry, this shit sucks, and I want to go to PlayStation. I was fully expecting it to be like, well, that's that, And I was very much relieved when I saw, like, oh no, it's the opposite. I was like, oh, thank God, that's such a relief. But yeah, man, it was interesting times. My interest in Xbox is, I don't know, dude. I don't really have that much of a problem. Like, I feel like I used to have a much bigger problem with Microsoft, but seeing where we are now and just seeing how everything played out, and I look at Microsoft now and I'm just like, I just feel like they're a very different company now. They're like, Xbox is a very different brand, pretty much unrecognizable to me to a certain extent. I don't think it's all bad, but I just am realizing that with them basically saying, like, we're going to start bringing we're going to test out bringing some of our games to PlayStation. I will not be going back to Xbox ever for any reason, like, seemingly. I mean, that could change, of course. Like, if it's like, oh yeah, State of Decay 3 is never coming to PlayStation, yeah, I'll go play that on PC, or maybe I would just play it on PC. I don't know that I'll ever go back to Xbox in a meaningful way. I don't know. They just don't appeal to me that much. Yeah, I am interested in Hellblade 2, but to be honest, like now I'm gonna wait. I'm curious to see if it does make its way to PlayStation. If it never does, then yeah, I'll go play it for sure. But I'm gonna wait a while and see. I just at this point I'm too invested in PlayStation. You know, where if I were to engage with the Xbox ecosystem, it would very much just be to be like it would be very forced in a way where it's like, man, I really don't care about unlocking achievements. I don't care about this ecosystem. You know, I just want to play the game that I think I'm interested in. And this is kind of why it's like to me it's not a bad thing that Xbox is going to hopefully eventually bring all their games to PlayStation, because it's like, I got to admit, like, hats off to you, Microsoft. Like, if Microsoft makes it so like you don't have to leave PlayStation if you ever want to play any of our games, that's great. Like, that fucking helps me a lot, because it's like, great. I would prefer not to have to do that. I know that doesn't help Xbox very much, but it is the reality. Like, I think Microsoft realizes that there are people like me where it's just like, I'm not coming back, you know? Like, I'm just not. I know that Microsoft wants me to invest in their ecosystem. They want me to engage with their storefront, engage with Game Pass. It's just like, it's not for me. You know, I'm too deeply entrenched in PlayStation's ecosystem. So it does make sense that Microsoft's like, all right, well, maybe we'll just have to bring it to you then. And I think that that's how it works. I think that there are people like that on PC. I think there are people like that on Xbox as well, to a certain extent. Risk It for the Biscuit is confident that I almost said Helldivers 2, that Hellblade 2 will arrive on PlayStation. Well, believe it or not, man, like, there still are like certain rumblings out there like claiming that, yeah, Microsoft is going to go harder with this in the not too distant future. Or finish saying, even if you go back to Xbox now a year later, you'll be back when Sony shows the games. Well, here's the thing though, like, what would I go back to Xbox for? Like, PlayStation is like, see, this is what's funny to me, is PlayStation is literally releasing games right now. Microsoft is not. And that's not to shit on Microsoft. It's like, it's so weird to me. It's like, why would would I go to Xbox to not play games? You know what I mean? Like, I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. If I was on Xbox right now, I wouldn't be able to play that. Rise of the Ronin's coming out. If I was on Xbox, I wouldn't be able to play that. Stellar Blade's coming out. If I was on Xbox, I wouldn't be able to play that. That's true. They have Pal World. Dude, did that game die or what? I feel like I haven't heard anybody talk about Pal World. Let me check the Steam charts. I mean, they made their money. 55,000 players on Pal World right now. 119,000 players was the latest 24-hour peak. All-time peak 2 months ago, 2.1 million. That's fucking insane, dude. 2.1 million. I feel like it kind of fell off, though, man. A little bit. But that's the nature of the beast. Helldivers 2 Steam chart. Let me see. Where's Helldivers 2? That's it, dude. It's fucking insane. Helldivers 2 is super consistent, man. Like, the 24-hour peak for Helldivers 2, 323,000 players. There's 230,000 players on it right now. I'm kind of surprised, man. Like, this game is over a month old, and it is fucking holding on. It's holding on, man. That's impressive. To be honest, I would have thought Helldivers would have less players by now on the Steam charts than what we're seeing. A lot of people have both consoles and game on one more than the other. Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe I'll buy the next generation Xbox. I'm not sure. The discourse for Xbox content creators for most of the time will be X, Y, and Z game will go to PlayStation. Yeah, it seems that way for now. MBG, did you see Arrowhead CEO recently did an interview with the PlayStation blog? It's clear Sony will buy the studio. No, I didn't see that. I believe that, though. Yeah. I mean, that seems like a prime acquisition target. You think it's going to hit 400K again with the new war bond? Gaming Survivor saying, forget Xbox. You're missing out on Nintendo. I don't know if I'm ever going to get into Nintendo, man. It's no offense against it. I am one of those people. No, see, that's not fair. It's not about it like seeming like it's for kids. It's just that I don't know. There isn't anything there that's making me, it's not pulling me in. Like even as a kid, dude, like I was not that into Nintendo. We'll see. We'll see with the Switch too. Get a Steam Deck. Steam Deck would be interesting. He wanted to say kids console so badly. No, see, that's the thing. To me, that is unfair. Like, Nintendo is definitely more kid oriented, no doubt about that. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I've always been that way though, man. Like I remember as a kid growing up, just to prove to you, like I was always this way. When I was a kid growing up, one of my cousins was super into Sonic. Like he loved Sonic and he loved Sega. And every time I would like go over his house and he'd be so hyped to play Sonic and I'd play it a little bit and I'd be like this shit feels like, I'm like, what is it? Like, I don't know. I was just always that way, dude. Like I was always veering towards something not, I don't know. Like I can play kid stuff, right? Like I love Plants vs. Zombies. I like Ratchet and Clank. I love the Astrobot game, but it's like I always kind of approach it feeling like, yeah, this is like maybe for, this is like tapping maybe into like an inner child or something, but I don't know. Do I like platformers? Not really. I'm not like, it's not that I like or dislike them. It's just that I have minimal experience really like with platformers. I have played some platformers and have enjoyed them, but I guess what I mean to say is that's never been like a type of game that I felt like I want to seek out. Like I want to play a platformer. I guess Ratchet and Clank would be a platformer, yeah. Most Sonic games suck. But it's weird because it's not like I was turning to him and saying, man, Sonic, like this shit feels, and I was really young, dude. And even at that young age, I was like, man, what is this? This shit seems weird. But you know what did appeal to me? And I was a little bit older at this point, but dude, I remember playing Metal Gear Solid 3, be like, holy shit, I can CQC somebody and slit their throat. This game's fucking awesome. Yeah, that was me as a kid. Yeah. I went the gangsta shit. Yeah. That's a good way to put it, TMS. Probably not wrong though. Honestly, like that is kind of where Yeah, I was playing GTA 3, GTA Vice City. Unhealthy shit. I don't know. That's just, it exists within. We got Laurent. Laurent returns to the stream, and he's keeping the membership train going today. Laurent drops a membership for you guys. Laurent.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good shit, man. Thank you for the membership gift. You bring us up to 31 members on the day. Really appreciate that, man. Where were your parents? No, they were there. They just, I guess they were cool with it. Dude, I was watching Black Hawk Down with my father at like, 6 or 7 years old or 8 years old. Okay. So it's like, I was watching Saving Private Ryan at that age. I was definitely exposed to shit that I probably shouldn't have been and was becoming a bit desensitized, but that's just the way it was, man. It's the way it was. And we got Laurent coming in. Rich Rod, I'm going to get your super chat in just a moment. Laurent drops a 5 bomb on you guys. He drops a 6 bomb, technically. Laurent drops 5 more gifts.
Holy shit.
Brings us to 36 members on the day. Laurent wants to see us hit another goal. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for keeping that membership train going, Laurent. Really appreciate you supporting the community in that way. We got Rich Rod 908. He says, Rich Rod, I now see why you were very eager for me to read your super chat. I can also see why you were a little bit anxiety, thinking maybe I purposely skipped it. But Rich Rod 908 says, not MBG, Rich Rod says, quote, I can't say this shit, dude. Quote, I pee in my Xbox Series X when I don't have time to run to the bathroom while playing Helldivers on my PS5. Fucking A, dude. Fucking A. That is believable. Rich Rod. I believe you. I believe you. There's no LOL. I don't sense sarcasm. Rich Rod says he straight up pees in his Xbox Series X when he doesn't have time to run to the bathroom when he's playing Helldivers on his PS5. Rich Rod is insane, man. Well, Rich Rod, thank you for sharing that with me and the community. It's very brave of you. And thank you for the super chat, man. You guys are wild. Yeah, the Xbox Series U. U for urinal. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, though. The Xbox Series U. I like that. I mean, I don't like it, but I like it in this context. Water damage test. Do you remember when the Series X first launched? There was like people trying to... I mean, I don't think it was real, but everybody thought it was at the time, where it was like, the Series X is catching on fire, and it was like people like vaping into the vent and like having it come out, make it look like it's smoking. And I was like, damn, dude. Microsoft better pray that isn't real, because that's going to end this console before it even begins. GTA 6 will be the most important thing to ever release, says analyst. Holy shit. Not one of the most important, the most important. Let me read this to you. Insider Gaming reports GTA 6 stormed to the front page of every news feed worldwide when Rockstar Games revealed it in December 2023. It quickly broke viewership records and soared up the charts, setting the industry on fire with intense anticipation of what could be the fastest selling game ever. Recently, Matt Piscatella, an expert analyst with Circana, sat down with GamesIndustry.biz to discuss the financial outlook for the games industry, suggesting that we, as a global community, need to see more overachievers like Palworld as spending dives. He also suggested that GTA 6 will be a monumentally important game that'll change the face of the video game industry. It has been a rough year or so for the games industry, for more than 16,000 layoffs in 18 months to the cancellation of games that looked phenomenal on paper. Gamers and the industry workers worldwide have come to terms with some intense struggles of late. So it says here, this is going to be a tough year, but if you look towards 2025, if interest rates come down and money becomes a little bit more free-flowing to developers and publishers, we should get a boost in the development cycle again. We're going to get a renewed batch of interest with GTA 6 in particular. There's probably never been a more important thing to ever release in this industry, so no pressure. What do you guys think? Do you agree with Matt Piscatella here? I actually agree. I really agree. Dude, I'm telling you, if Sony aligns themselves properly with the launch of GTA 6 with the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, oh, fuck, dude. Sony and Rockstar, man, could be paving the way. Laurent, with a milestone chat, you're saying, MBG, thank you for keeping it going. Love this community. Happy to give back from time to time, even if it's not always much. Happy to give when I can. Well, no, dude, thank you, man. You know, to anybody who is able to give to the channel and to the community, whether it's, you know, a $1 donation or 50 memberships, it all means a lot. You know, giving anything at all is to me a big deal. So thank you, Laurent. And I'm glad you appreciate the community as well. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. That's what it's all about. Do you think GTA... No. We got to cut that right now. GTA 6 is not going to sell less than 5. No. Not a chance. There will never be a game released like GTA 6, I think, ever again. Mark, you're saying, MBG, would you say starting to lift weights at age 35 is too late? What's best for chest? No, definitely not. It's never too late to start lifting. I would just say be careful and start slow for sure. You don't want to risk injuring yourself. If your body's not used to lifting weights, you definitely want to take it slow. But no, I would say there's never an age where it's too late. I mean, even if you were... I mean, you're 35. That's good, man. Even if you were in your 50s or 60s, I would still say it's lift weights. You know, just take it easy, but lift weights. Best exercise for chest. I mean, you can't go wrong with the traditional bench press, dumbbell presses. Try to avoid flies, though. I used to like doing flies, but I think they're kind of problematic for your shoulders. But yeah, I would stick with any form of the bench press. Maybe try an inclined bench press. Can work your chest, get your upper pecs, hit your delts as well. Build some good strength. So yeah, man, it's never too late. Angry Whale Watcher, you're saying you picked up lifting in your mid-30s? Yeah, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, the sooner the better, obviously. But yeah, like it's never... Weightlifting is something... Strength training is something that is beneficial no matter what age you are. Like, even if you were in your 80s, if you're able to, like, just even super, super, super light, talking like 5-pound dumbbells, you know, like, that is extremely beneficial. Movement is critical, man. It is. Like, no matter what age you are, movement, bone strength, muscle mass, and muscle tone, critical stuff, man. And we have Laurent coming in, dropping another 5-bomb on you guys. Laurent is doing some heavy lifting today. Laurent is giving back to the community in a big way here. He drops another 5 memberships for you guys. I got to give you a holy shit because you just brought us up to 41 members on the day, Laurent. Thank you so much for all the support, bro. We are now 9 away from hitting a second goal. I told you guys. Listen, I told you. If we get to 50, I'll do some more reps. Speaking of lifting weights, I'm going to start like writing out fucking little workout schedules for my streams. And based on the day, do different exercises. But yeah, Laurent, thank you so much, man. You just gifted 11 memberships on the day. That's amazing to see. I'm going to throw in...
I sacrificed everything for my people.
Jin Sakai. How much running do I do? I really don't run. I walk. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't purposely do cardio, but I'm moving a lot of the day. I'm going up and down the steps. Like, the amount of times a day I go up and down stairs, I'm definitely getting some cardio in, for sure. If you're just doing like everyday household tasks and shit, but you're doing it at like a brisk pace, like you're getting some cardio in there. But no, I don't run. I'm not a fan of running. I hate running, honestly. But I walk pretty frequently. How many miles? I don't know. I'd have to track it. Laurent would sacrifice everything for this community. That's funny. You had back surgery, so all you can really do anymore is cardio. I mean, cardio's very good. I should probably try to start doing a little bit more cardio, you know. Something I'd say like not high, like low intensity. I think low intensity would probably be the, you know, that's the way to be most effective for your cardiovascular health. We have Kirby Shaw. Kirby Shaw comes in and does it. He takes it home. He drops a 10 bomb on you guys. Kirby coming in out of nowhere, following up Laurent, getting us over the 50 mark. Kirby, I got to give another holy shit out here. Kirby's like, I want to see MBG do some reps. Well, you just did it, man. You just did it. 10 memberships. He gets us over the mark here. Kirby, thank you so much, bro. Thank you to everybody who is keeping the membership community in tip-top shape, keeping them well-fed, doing the heavy lifting. Let's do it. We're 3 hours in. We'll do some reps. Let me queue up. Let's see. Get some music in here. Hold on, though. Hold on. Before we get this going, Fred Vance. Fred's still being the ADHD today. Fred Vance drops another 5 memberships for you guys. The train hasn't stopped yet. Fred, thank you, man. W's in the chat for these guys. Showing incredible support for the community in the channel. Getting hyped. Is everybody getting ready to work out? We're going to do some lifting together. Fred, you got your dumbbells? If you don't have dumbbells, just find something near you that you can lift. That won't hurt you, of course. As long as it doesn't hurt you. Please don't hurt yourselves. Or don't hurt your animals. Don't lift your animals either. Laurent drops another 5. These guys are going crazy today. They're all doing the heavy lifting. Laurent drops another 5 bomb on you guys. And just like that, we are sitting at 61 members. You have a pencil? You could lift a pencil, I guess. Laurent, bro, thank you so much. Fred, all you guys, Kirby. You guys are crushing it. You guys did crush it. 61 members. So I do want to let everybody know, it's a little bit early. Let me see. So we're going to do... So on Sunday the 17th, we're going to do a stream, obviously. It's a Sunday stream. I do got to let you know that following that stream Sunday, I might be gone for a little bit. I don't know how long I'm going to be gone for. I don't know. It could be 2 days. It could be 3 days. It could be 4. I'm just letting you know now. I will let you know again as we get closer to that. Because for me, that feels really strange. I normally don't take much time off. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to do anything, unfortunately, on the channel between, I would say, the 18th and either the 19th or the 20th. I'm with the FBI. Yeah, it's orientation day at Microsoft, so, you know. Yeah, guys, I got hired by Microsoft. I'm not going to be streaming anymore going forward. I'm going to be working for them, so sorry about that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, of course. But yeah. Gaming Survivor knows. Now, it's not going to be enjoyable time off, though, just so you know. It's not going to be enjoyable. I wish it was. I wish it was just a little vacation, but no. I don't know. It might not be as long as I think. It could just be 2 days for all I know. Yes, Shems. Shems knows, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be Phil's latest acquisition. We've acquired MBG. He's gonna make Xbox related content now. All right, so guys, we are sitting at 61 members. Again, thank you so much. I owe you guys some reps. We're gonna get this ready. Oh, really quick, yeah, Gaming Survivor, you're saying I found the goose and I'm now leaving the Matrix. That's an inside joke for anybody who hangs out in the members lounge. I just want to say, I was so close to taking a picture and showing you guys, but I was like, you know what? Somebody will fucking figure out exactly where this location is if I do that. But I was looking out my window the other day, and there was like 5 or 6 geese chilling in like that same area, and they're just chilling in this empty parking lot. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, why are they there? I think they're on to me, man. Like, I'm just getting a little bit nervous. I'm like, yo, their numbers are growing. If you know, you know. All right, let's get this going. Let me see what track I can play here. Can't hear it. Holy fuck. I'm just gonna keep the music playing, dude. I gotta catch my breath. Oh my god. I think I went a little too hard that time, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, though. New idea. We do a workout and game talk video. We're getting there. We're getting there, bro. You know what it is too, though? Really, really nice outside. Really warm out. Got the window open. You just feel it. I haven't supersetted like that in a fucking long time, though. Jesus. I gotta be careful. I don't want to fucking die on stream. What a way to go out, though, right? Listen, guys, if I ever die on stream, I'm serious. If I ever fucking, like, have a heart attack or some shit on stream, please donate everything you can. Because it's gonna be the last stream, bro. Oh, man. I feel okay. I'm just extremely winded. Saying that's dark. I know. I don't mean to be so dark. It's just I'm only human, man. I don't know if it's my cardio. I'm not. I don't know. How would you rate that, though? How would you rate those supersets? Like, I think that was a lot of work, man. I did a set of 20 reps, 50 pounds, incline press. After that, I did a set of curls, standing curls. Then I think I did another set of incline. And then I did front dumbbell raises, and then more curls. Shit, I did a lot. Fuck, man. We really are just this close to basically at the end of my streams. Here's a full-blown workout session, guys. Enjoy. But got to keep the muscle bound in Muscle Bound Gamer. You're not resting either much in between. So decent cardio. Yeah, dude. For sure. I guess my mindset of it is like, look, it's getting later in the day. If I can't actually get a full workout in, I'm going to do everything I can here right now. Boss is enjoying the fresh air. But that was for you guys and all your support. You guys made Boss very happy today. Gave him some more snacks. Made my muscles happy today. Did a workout. Keep that high T, says William G. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Even Space Gambler Jr. says, even if you didn't die on stream, I would donate. Wait. Even if you didn't die on stream, I would donate if you died. I don't get it. My house ground floor. Actually, no. It's not ground floor. It's somewhat raised. I'm not like a story up or anything like that. It doesn't feel like it. Oh, shit, dude. I am gassed. Game Station, you're saying we love you and we need you here with us, bro. So be safe. Well, sorry, I wasn't trying to scare you, but maybe that was a very dark joke. To be fair, I wouldn't die. I would probably just pass out. That is a thing that happens when you push too hard working out. I've never passed out working out, luckily, but you know, it has happened to people. I've known people that's happened to, where it's like you just, you know, pushing too hard, too fast. Game Station's like, no, you can't die, MBG. We need you. Well, if somebody passes out working out, though, man, you can't say that they didn't fucking push it to the limit. PS Gamer, you're saying don't push too hard for the stream. Stay healthy. I will. It just, see, the thing that is weird is I normally don't superset that aggressively, right? Like I do usually take breaks in between sets, but it does feel like when I'm on the stream, it's like, I don't want to just sit here for 2 minutes with background music playing, but I don't know. Something tells me you guys probably wouldn't care. But I feel good, man. I do. I love when the seasons change. I love when spring rolls around. It just changes everything. I feel like I change completely. I really think I do suffer a little bit from winter depression. Seasonal depression, maybe. Hellbound says, I will not accept it when you die. Well, I do plan on taking care of myself. I do plan on sticking around for as long as I can. Hell, that's why I'm working out, right? That's why I'm working out, so. But yeah, I guess I feel so good today because I got a good amount of sun yesterday. I got my vitamin D. Feeling good. MBG, if you die, the community disappears. Boss will carry on the legacy, bro. Boss will carry on the legacy. It'll be streams. Mrs. MBG will take over my streams with Boss. Don't worry, she's pretty into gaming. She's really into JRPGs and stuff. Well, not like really into them, but she's definitely more weebish, I guess, than me. But she's not really that weebish. I guess I'm just saying I think you guys would be surprised. Laurent's like, oh yes, that's nice. What are you saying, Laurent? You want me to die? Is that what you're saying, Laurent? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm going to have to show Mrs. MBG the ropes. Good times, though, guys. Good times. Appreciate you being here. Members Lounge today. No Members Lounge today. I'm trying to do the Members Lounge about 3 times a week, give or take. So we'll probably do one. Today's one. We'll probably do one tomorrow. I'm hoping we'll be able to do one tomorrow. But I don't know if you were here for yesterday's Members Lounge. If not, go check it out. That was a pretty fun one. Game Station, you're saying, ever since I subscribed to this channel, my afternoons have become more pleasant, bro. That's why I said we love and need you. You guys are too kind. Thank you. Sincerely, thank you for all the love and support. It means a lot. I'm glad you guys enjoy the streams, man, because I don't know if you can tell or not, but I've been enjoying them more as well. Ever since I started streaming more last year, I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I know that the streams aren't for everybody, but it's brought like a renewed level of interest and engagement from myself on this channel. and I've been enjoying it ever since. And you know what the best part is again, it's like days like today where there's really not a whole lot going on. And I feel like we can still have great streams, still have a good time, have good conversation. Have I ever had a muscle tear before? Luckily, no. I've seen muscle tears, and man, they're not pretty. It definitely makes me a little bit nervous. I try to always make sure not to push it too far. Because once a muscle tears, it'll never quite be the same again. It can heal, but yeah, it'll never quite be the same. I've seen a lot of bicep tears. Man, they look bad. Pec tears. Oof. Oh, I got to be careful. I feel like my left pectoral muscle, like in this area here, I've kind of felt before, like when pushing, I'm pretty sure that's liable to tear. Like you can kind of tell, like your body's like, don't do any more. Don't go any further. You will tear that. Body's kind of telling you, like, take it easy, bro. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. Not peak. I'm not at my peak, certainly not, but I'm feeling pretty good overall. We're definitely making some progress. All right, guys, where are we at? We're about to hit the 3.5 hour mark. So I think this will be a good time to bring the stream to an end. Do I ever do intermittent fasting? So, yeah. I mean, I guess you can't really call it intermittent fasting because I drink coffee with a little bit of creamer in the morning, but I don't eat breakfast. I wait till lunch and then I eat dinner. I usually have, to be honest, though, I don't know that I really actually do intermittent fasting because I eat at night as well. I'm pretty bad with that. If I didn't eat food at night, like when I'm just chilling on the sofa watching some TV, if I didn't eat anything, I'd probably be fucking shredded. Truthfully, like I'd probably be ripped. I'd have a lot of cuts, but I do eat at night, and I'm pretty sure like my body hangs on to that a little bit. So you're fasting right now for Ramadan. You should try that. How long do you fast for that? Isn't it like a long time? No, I'm not a breakfast person. On Sundays, Mrs. MBG makes a big breakfast, and I'll eat it then. Make like pancakes sometimes, sausage, bacon, eggs, and I'll enjoy breakfast then. But usually I'm just Space Gambler saying, "Yeah, you're not ripped at all, MBG." I know. I would like to lower the body fat so like I could have, but gotta enjoy life a little bit too. Maybe I'm enjoying it too much. From sunrise to sunset. Oh wow, that's a long time. Yeah, that feels long anyway. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Laurent says he thinks I look good enough. Well, thank you, Laurent. It was sarcasm. Oh, it was sarcasm. I always struggle reading sarcasm. Mrs. MBG says sometimes she thinks I have body dysmorphia because I'll be like, do I look too skinny? Or like, do I not look like I actually have muscle? And she'll be like, what are you talking about? You look good. Like, oh. But I think that's what happens. Like when you spend years looking at bodybuilders, you spend years watching people who are, whether they're natural or not, like their entire life is about looking a certain way. It can kind of, make it so that you look pretty good, right? Or like pretty decent, certainly, maybe above average, but maybe you don't see it that way because you're too busy always like seeing people that are on the extreme end of like, holy shit, you're in like the less than 5% or something like that. So I think that can kind of contribute to it, but saying strength is not always about muscle though. Sometimes the skinniest dudes are strong and they fight. Yeah, no, see, the thing about muscle is it's not, it can be deceptive in that, yeah, dude, bone strength means a lot more than muscular strength at the end of the day. Of course, muscular strength helps, but a fun fact about being more muscular is having muscle tissue is very healthy for you, but the larger your muscles are, like literally the more mass your muscles have, or the more massive they are, the more likely they are, the more prone they are to injury. It seems counterintuitive, but that's a truth, man. Like the bigger your muscle is, the more prone it is to injury, just naturally. So in a way, like people with smaller muscles, not like no muscle, but smaller muscles are actually less prone to muscular injury. Like you talk about muscle tears, they're less likely to tear their muscles or injure them. Which it feels like that it shouldn't be that way, right? But it's biology for you. Anyway, guys, I'm going, you know me, I'll go on for another hour. So I do have to bring this stream to an end. I definitely want to get outside today, get some more fresh air, get some more sun. And so I think this is where I will bring it to an end. My goal is hopefully to do another, we'll see. I don't want to lock it in, but my goal is to do another stream tomorrow and hopefully another members lounge. So look out for that. But before I go, guys, again, I have to extend a just very big thank you and shout out to all you guys for showing such amazing support. We, again, hit 61 members. Good stuff. Thank you for keeping the content alive. You know, everything we do here is fan funded. So for those of you who are able, if it's within your means to give and help support, thank you for that. Those of you who drop super chats, thank you so much for all that support as well. And again, just a general shout out to everybody who watches the content and everybody who supports it. So also want to give a shout out to Devil Shooter. He does the timestamps. He does a great job with them. If you see him in the comments, give him a thank you. I know he definitely appreciates it. Really quick, Ray, you're saying, I don't mean this in the bad way, but is Mrs. MBG a fitness person like you? Like, does she understand you're working out? And that might be, maybe that's why she thinks I had dysmorphia. No, to be fair, like, well, Mrs. MBG, she's definitely into fitness, I would say. Especially lately, she's been trying to exercise more and do more cardio. And again, like we're going for walks every day now. And, you know, I have lifted weights with Mrs. MBG before as well. I wouldn't say she's like a weight lifter by any means like that, you know, but it's something that she wants to get more into when it comes to lifting. And I would like to help with that. It's hard though, because like, I don't know that I would consider myself qualified to be a trainer. So I never know if I'm like, you know, I haven't been a beginner weightlifter since I was a teenager. So it's like, I almost forget, like, you really got to take it slow and let your body get used to it. But no, she's definitely into trying to be fit, taking care of her cardiovascular health. And, you know, we're both kind of on this journey of trying to, you know, be as fit as we can so we can, you know, and have a higher quality of life for as long as we can. But when it comes to the body dysmorphia stuff, and no, to be honest, I do think I am a bit ridiculous at times. Like I'll just be like looking in the mirror, I'll be like, man, I think I'm skinny, or like I feel like maybe I'm losing weight. And she's like, no, like you're not. You look fine. I got a PhD in bro science. Yeah. Anyway, I'm distracting myself again. I meant to end the stream 5 minutes ago. Fred, you're saying my wife has gotten into working out and wants me to help her. I'm scared I may push her too hard. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of too. And that's why, like, you got to be very aware that, like, because once you get used to working out for like a long period of time, you completely forget like how brutally hard it is to get started, you know, and how it really takes a toll on your body and your mind as well. So anyway, guys, go out there, go get some exercise. Go get some sun. Go lift some weights. I'm gonna end the stream now, because if I don't, I'll be going on for another hour. So just one last thank you for all the support, and look out for hopefully some more content tomorrow. We'll see what tomorrow brings, but I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day, and I will catch all of you guys in the next one. So until then, take care, everyone.